How are we, people? We are live. This is our first episode where we are no longer Grange TV. We are the Fair One podcast. We are now merging all our stuff so that it's becoming a new brand. And yes, people, we are off with this first one. I'm actually really looking forward to this next fight between Drew Dober and Brad Riddell. Drew Dober being the man that not only is he a very competent, very savvy fighter, but he's also the man with the best jawline in the business. Someone that coming from someone like myself that is very much lacking the chiseled features and the cut jawline. I greatly admire Drew Dober's efforts. I could do with having a bit more of a chin and a bit more of a jawline there. I haven't seen the JoJo fight, to be honest with you. I'm just tuning in now to watch the fights, and I'm just tuning in now to watch the Brad Riddell versus Drew Dober fight. Jack the Ripper says, Salam alaikum, Uncle Fab. And I say, alaikum salam right back to you, my dear friend. How are you? Sean says, new podcast name. I like it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, we thought we'd go with something different. I've kept the neon sign up there for a little bit. It'll probably be gone within the next couple of weeks, though, just in case anyone tunes in. They know that this is still Grange TV. Ewan Ferguson says, I come back for the first time in weeks to a rebranding. What's happening? Hope all is well, Fab. No, nothing much is happening, man. I just, going to go with a different name. As you guys are probably aware, we had some issues where some people hacked. And just we had to go through and change a few things and change some security clearances and whatnot. And we're off. It's all good now. You know what I mean? Hello, Fabulous, says Robert Visor. Hello, sir. Greg Fern says, say Jojo won publicly, though, so it gets traction. Mate, I didn't see the fight. I didn't see it. Jack the Ripper says, ooh, fancy new name. What's the meaning behind it? Well, I'm going to let you guys figure that one out, what the fair one means. If you have a fair one with someone, what does that mean? And the Vitruvian man, I'm also just going to give you a little thing there. If you don't know who that is, look into who the Vitruvian man is, and that's the square circle. And for those that don't know, the boxing ring is often referred to as the square circle. And in Da Vinci's work, the Vitruvian man, the square circle was there. Ewan says, I like it. Official. Thank you, sir. Lord Slug says, between round 2 and 3 in the Stewart Anders fight, I just watched the cut man rub Vaseline on Stewart's face, then wipe a glob on his shoulder and rub it across his chest and up and down his arms. Lord Slug, have the rules on greasing changed? No, they haven't. They're very, very strict on that. So that would be an anomaly and quite weird. Yeah, they're very strict on that kind of thing, So you have no Vaseline at the back or anything. Only the cutmans can apply it. Tony says, like the new name, coach, hope all is well. Thank you, sir. Martovi says, looking good, Fab, as always. Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. Really looking forward to this fight. Huge fan of Brad Riddell. Huge fan. But Drew Dober won me over as well. He's won me over, but I'm a fan of Brad Riddell, so I'm going for Brad. Very, 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 very good kickboxer is Brad Riddell. Love watching him fight. Leighton J says, was that confused when this popped up on my notifications? Yeah, man, it's just we went with a different thing, changed it, etc., etc. Pip Dennison says, circling the square, ancient cultures used to do it. Hola, jefe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Pip Dennison. A learned man that understands where I'm going with it. Jack the Ripper says, Uncle Fab, once again, dunking on us with superior knowledge. I'll look into it, and next podcast, I'll tell you what I think it means. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Look at Drew Dober. He's a good-looking fellow, man. I've got to give him that. An exceptionally good-looking man is Drew Dober. I have to, and this guy too looks like a fucking superhero. The guy in his corner, not the bald guy, the other guy. So I have to go with Brad Riddell, being that I'm not a good-looking fellow, and I will admit I'm a little bit jealous of Drew Dober. So let's go, Brad Riddell. I was going for Brad Riddell anyways. Should be a cracker fight, man. I don't see Drew Dober being able to outstrike Brad Riddell, and I can't see him taking Brad Riddell and holding him down. So, you know, Drew Dober has a Taekwondo black belt. He has Muay Thai experience. He wrestled in high school. He's very, very well rounded. He's got some good jiu-jitsu behind him, which a lot of people are going to say, oh, in the Islam fight, blah, 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 blah. Islam will make very, very good jiu-jitsu guys look like that. So don't take that out of don't take that from him, you know. Sub 10 says, hi Fab. So what is going to happen to the Grange TV sign? I'm giving it to Joseph. Joseph that's on the chat. He asked me for it. I'm giving it to him. Jack the Ripper says, and he has nice hair. Another reason to dislike Dober. He has spectacular hair, does Dober. Chiseled nose, square jaw, chiseled physique, and he seems like a good guy. All those reasons to hate him. I don't hate Drew Dober before people go and tell him that. Bruce Buffer. Big announcement. Yeah, I don't see Drew Dober outstriking Brad Riddell. I could be wrong. He's an underdog, is Brad Riddell, at plus 125. I don't see him as the underdog. One thing for someone with his striking background, he doesn't have a lot of knockouts to his name in MMA, and I think that can work against him. But, you know, someone like him will hurt you, and he'll open you up moving forward. Yeah, Drew Dober's shown, man, he's minus 145 favorite. He's a good grappler. He's got much more MMA experience than Brad Riddell, but Brad Riddell has a shit ton of striking experience. Greg Fern says Dober has better power, I reckon. He has more knockouts to his name. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Is Justin Gaethje cornerman for Drew Dober? I didn't see him in the corner. He may be, but I didn't see him sub. Greg Fern says leg kicks from Riddell, and we're off, people. We're off. They touch gloves in the middle, and we have started, people. We have started. Drew Dober in the southpaw position, trying to move Brad Riddell back. Brad Riddell feinting. Ooh, comes over the top with a brilliant left hook, does Brad Riddell. Inside leg kick by Brad Riddell. Nice shots. Brad Riddell looking to step over, step outside that lead leg. Ooh, they're punching in the pocket there. I don't know if you want to play that game with Brad Riddell. I'm on the edge of my seat for this one, man. I don't know if you want to play that game. The Drew Dober's hair is fucking fantastic. I'll just say that. I will say that. Brad Riddell looking. Oh, that check hook from Brad Riddell is money all day. He keeps hitting him with that check hook. Nice little hook that Brad Riddell's throwing. Throws a kick to the body. Does Brad Riddell almost got a caught? So far, I'm liking Brad Riddell's counters here with Drew. Drew goes inside leg kick, straight left down the middle. Oh, Brad Riddell has been rocked. He's been rocked. He goes for a single leg. He gets hit again. He's all right. He's recovered. He's recovering. He gets hit again. Brad Riddell goes looking for a double leg. Drew Dober sprawls on it. He's defending this. He's got double overhooks defending this. Does Drew Dober. Brad Riddell is driving forward into the cage. This can only help Brad Riddell here in this situation because he is getting his everything back in order. But Drew Dober's defending this quite well. See the position he has him here. He's stacking Brad Riddell's neck, and it's very, very hard for Brad to be able to get some offense going from this position. He's defending this single leg quite well. It shouldn't waste too much energy on it. Brad Riddell is not in a position there to finish his single leg, but he is regaining his faculties, is Brad Riddell, from this position. How he is here like that, he can't get... I'm surprised he was able to get the purchase there to finish that, but Drew Dober's managed to get back up to his feet. Brad Riddell showed some good wrestling there. I'm very, very impressed by that. How much now his faculties have returned. He was obviously, for someone like Brad Riddell to be wrestling to this point, he would have had to regain his faculties a fair bit, you know. But I'm sure he's all right now. He's been hit before. I'm actually impressed with his wrestling too, though. Left high kick by Drew Dober. Really, really good work by Riddell to come back. He gets hit again, gets clipped again, does Riddell, but he returns a right hand of his own to Drew Dober. Oh, the counters. Oh, these guys. And Brad Riddell shoots again on the single leg. The thing is, both these guys have firepower, man. They're both going hard. Drew just missed with a little right hook then. Brad Riddell, another inside kick. Oh, the combination's taken on the arms by Dober. The feints from Dober now coming. Oh! Nice leg kick by Dober. Good comment. That left hook from Brad Riddell keeps coming home every single time. Spinning back fist attempt by Drew Dober doesn't catch Riddell, but Riddell is hitting him with that left hook, and he's hitting him a lot. You know, he's hitting him a lot with the counter left hook. Riddell cut above his right on the hairline on the left-hand side of his face. Now Riddell coming forward a little bit, hits Drew Dober with a nice right hand, does Riddell. Riddell's still very much in this fight, ladies and gentlemen, very much in this fight with 1 minute to go in this first round. Action-packed fight, amazing fight. Love watching these two guys fight. Oh, nice body rip by Riddell. Inside kick by Riddell, straight left hand down the middle by Drew Dober. Drew Dober with right hand by Riddell on the counter to that left body kick. Ooh, comes up short with the left hand, does Drew Dober. Oh, right hand by Riddell. Riddell finds he's finding a home for that right hand, is Riddell. I think he's starting to get the timing of Drew Dober down more in this round, towards the end of the round. It's 11 seconds to go. Oh, 1-2 landed by Riddell. 5 seconds to go. Right hand landed again by Riddell. Right hand down the middle. Time. What a round. I'd probably have to give that round to Drew Dober just from having dropped Riddell. But Riddell landed more shots, man. He's landing that 1-2. He's landed also that lead right hand, and he's landing that left hook over the top. Wow. Wow, man. What a fight. Yes, we changed the name, so let's see how this works for us. Yeah, Oliver Ekman says I was confused when I looked at my subscription feed and seen the new channel. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't throw a lot of people off. Yeah, I see Brad Riddell starting to come on now in the second and third rounds. He's starting to get the measure, and he's starting to get the timing down and the measure for Drew Dober, and he's starting to find a home more and more for that right hand down the middle and that left hook over the top. Very impressed even with the fact that Riddell was, when he was rocked, he was able to get that double leg and stay in, you know, get his faculties back. Riddell comes looking for the center of the octagon, inside leg kick by Riddell. Oh, Riddell goes low, then comes up with a check hook over the top. It wasn't actually a check hook, it was just a left hook. Very nice work by Riddell. Slides out of the way of a left hand by Dober, and then steps in and hits him with a right hand, then steps in and hits him with an inside leg kick. Great work by Riddell. They're swinging for their fences. Both these guys, Riddell got hit again. Riddell goes looking for the double leg. Man, both these guys swing for the fences in close. Left high kick by Dober. Riddell now bleeding from the bridge of his nose. Left hand lands by Dober. Oh, right hand landed by Riddell. Right hand again lands by Riddell, and he slides out of the way of a counter left by Dober. Dober goes looking for a double leg, semi-successful with it, ties up the legs of Riddell, but Riddell is still framing, still putting his right arm down on the ground, so he hasn't capitulated to the takedown. Dober goes looking for the hooks. He has one hook in. Heavy shots from these boys. Both these guys displaying brilliant chins. They've taken some shots, man, both these guys. Now Riddell has countered the wrestling and he's looking for a double leg of his own. A lot of grappling he's shown by two guys that are predominantly strikers. Riddell doing a very, very good job. And now he's getting hit with big elbows. He's looking to get this takedown, looking for quite hard is Riddell. There's also a chance that Dober switches for a Kimura here if he wants, but he's gonna give the takedown if he does that. So everything that Dober's doing here is quite good. Riddell was looking for that far leg, that ankle, and I really like when people do that and grab it and turn. He's got to run the other way. He's got to run and turn to his right. 3 minutes to go. Riddell holding Dober up against the cage. Dober looking to frame and escape. Oh, good exchange there, guys. Ooh. Oh, nice counter there. Brad Riddell gets a takedown on Drew Dober. Drew Dober's also landing big shots on Riddell, you know. Riddell has got a good wrist control here. He's now taking Dober down and he's looking to pass into mount. He's doing a good job here. Went into smash pass a couple of times in a half guard. Dober's got the correct underhook. Riddell goes to step over. Drew Dober is able to almost reverse this and now pushes Riddell up against the cage. How much is this grappling exchange taken from each of these boys respectively? I don't know. Riddell goes looking for a right kick down the middle. Lands on the arms of Drew Dober. Riddell looking very fresh. Not fresh, but both these guys, for the output and the pace that they're fighting, they're both still looking pretty good. Oh, another exchange. Riddell bobs and weaves out of the way. Hits Dober with a counter left hook. Dober goes looking for a kick up the middle. Brad Riddell doing a great job of coming forward. Now trying to push Drew Dober back. Oh. Dober with a counter left. Oh, Brad Riddell takes a big kick from Drew Dober straight on the arms. Oh, right to the body by Riddell, countered by a left hand by Dober. Oh, both boys swinging a miss to each other's heads. They both miss again. Oh, they both connect. Little kind of jab uppercut from Dober lands on Riddell. Riddell coming forward with a kick of his own. Oh, right hand and a left hand lands by Riddell. Flush on Drew Dober. Inside leg kick landed by Riddell rather. Spinning back kick lands by Dober. Good body kick by Riddell. I would probably give that round to Riddell. The thing is, sometimes when you look at the stats and it says significant strikes, I don't know, because not all strikes are equal, you know. Yeah, hopefully, man, people are able to get on here. So if you know anyone, blah, 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 please tell them this is the new name and we're here and blah, 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 blah. Rick James, hi, everyone. Jesus couldn't find the stream today because of the channel change name. Sorry about that, people. We had to change the name. Guys, just tune in. Did Belal versus Maia finish? It hasn't started yet. What's up, Feds? Belal versus Maia's on the main card, so not yet, mate. Ben Gallagher says, love these fight days. Me too, sir. Nothing soft comes out of the croft. Good to see you, Ben. Sasank says, Fab, how do you score this fight? I'm probably giving him a round apiece, man. I'm not really scoring it, but I'm probably giving it a round apiece. Joseph says, like and subscribe. Yes, sir, please. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Guys, it just gives you an understanding of how good Islam Makhachev is, you know, because both these guys can fight and both these guys are looking good. And Islam was all over Drew Dober. They touch hands. Riddell in the middle of the octagon. Now Drew Dober inching forward, trying to push Riddell to the peripheries of the octagon. They trade punches. Riddell's right hand seems to have kind of shook Dober a little bit. Inside leg kick again by Riddell. Drew Dober trying to walk inside, I believe, boxing range, where he's had the most success landing some of these counter shots on Riddell. But Riddell lands 2 right hands on Dober. And Dober shoots in deep for a double leg. Riddell doing a fantastic job of defending. Dober in very, very deep. Now he's looking to get the body lock. He's no longer in and around the legs. He's stepping behind, looking for a lift. Great balance and strength shown by Riddell. Drew Dober breaks off. Riddell trying to move forward. Body kick by Dober taking on the arms of Riddell. Riddell's got such fantastic timing. Oh, right hand. And right hand landed by Riddell, and then a left hand landed by Dober. Riddell does a good job of sliding just out of the way and then countering. But he has been caught a couple of times by Dober. Dober now making him bite a little bit more on the feints. Oh, good combinations. My God. A couple of those punches landed there by Dober. Riddell's got such good vision, and his ability to just slide out of the way is really, really good. But the blood is starting to bother Riddell a little bit because some of the blood from the cut on his hairline is starting to go down into his eyes a little bit. And he's having to wipe it away a little bit. There's 3 minutes to go. I don't know how much it's going to affect him in this charge down the straight. Nice right hand lands by Riddell. Dober coming forward. Riddell looking for a double leg of his own. Dober defends it. I'd like to see Dober throw a right hook over the top because I think that's where the blood is starting to land in Riddell's eyes. There's the right hook from Dober. Riddell showing good movement on the double jab, moving away from Dober. Dober goes looking for that left kick to the body of Riddell. It lands on the arms, but it still takes a toll. Riddell goes looking for a double leg and then comes over the top with a left hook. Oh, little shot landed there, flush by Dober on Riddell. Oh, big body shot landed by Riddell. Big body kick. Dober coming forward. It's landing on the arms, but it's still, man, that hurts a lot. Nice little check hook there by Riddell. Nice. Hit twice by Dober then in little short, sharp combinations, but still. Dober goes looking for a single leg on Riddell. Riddell's able to defend that quite well. He's got a deep underhook. He's pushed Dober up against the cage. Nice kick by Riddell. One minute, 23 seconds to go. Riddell with a huge counter elbow. Dober moving him backwards. Oh, ripped to the body by Riddell. Dober still coming forward. Oh, 1-2 lands by Dober. Not flush, but enough. Oh, Riddell goes looking for a right high kick, slips and falls and eats a little left hand for his troubles. Two and a one by Riddell, neither of which lands flush. Oh, he's rocked Dober with a huge right hand, has Riddell. And another right hand. Another one, and Dober shoots for a single leg. Dober is in all sorts of trouble here from Riddell with 25 seconds to go. They were huge shots by Riddell. Absolutely huge shots. Gets taken down, goes looking for a Kimura attack. Does Riddell with 17 seconds to go. Drew Dober has not got all of his faculties. Is he going to be able to turn and get in top? Riddell was looking for a Kimura trap, wasn't able to get it. There in that situation would have been better off Doesn't matter what he would have been better off doing, but let's keep going. 1 second to go. Time, guys. What a fight. I believe that Riddell took that right at the end. That was a great fight. Great fight. Riddell took that one. Mark Whelan says, hi, Fab. Was confused when the fair one came up on my feed. PS, love the name. It's spot on. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, man, we've changed the name, obviously. And, hopefully people will still be able to find us as easily as they did before. I'm keeping Grange TV up there so people can still see it. Valeria says, cool new logo. Looking forward to Figueiredo versus Moreno. Thank you very much, Valeria. Valeria, really appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting us and donating on PayPal. That was massive for us. So thank you so much, Valeria. You're a champion. I really appreciate everything you do. And you're the one of the people, not the one, but one of the people that's keeping the podcast going. So thank you so much. Yeah, man, that was a crazy fight, man. Crazy fight. Yeah, and I believe that Riddell would have pulled that one off right at the end. What a shot. That counter right he was hitting him all day, but he ate a few shots himself off Dober, a few shots. But I believe this is how I see it. Dober won the first, Riddell won the second, and then he won the third. What a chin on both these guys, man, to take the shots that they did. Having said that, I don't know how they scored the second one. If they gave the second round to Dober, then no, But I had it number 1 Dober and 2 and 3 for Riddell. That was me. Crazy fight. Absolutely insane. Huge shots by both of them, man. Mark Whelan says, yeah, if they were already on Grange TV, it automatically goes to the fair one. Well, it did for me. Yeah, no, it should. It should, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. Hassan Noor says, Joe Rogan commentary, woo, wow. I don't know what that means. Yeah, man, that was pretty crazy, man, that fight. I'd like to see Gregor Gillespie or Islam Makhachev versus Brad Riddell. That would be an interesting fight. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Like and subscribe to the podcast, please, guys. Just a second. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. So yeah, what happens with Brad Riddell now? What do we do with Brad Riddell? Does Brad Riddell fight? Who does he fight? Like I said, I'd like to see him fight a Makhachev or someone like that, or a Gregor Gillespie. I think those would be pretty cool fights. What are my predictions for the rest of the card? Ooh, well, let's talk about the rest of the card. I think Israel beats Vettori. I think Israel, not because I'm counting Vettori out completely, because I don't. I think there are ways for him to win, and I think he can win. I think, though, what I see happening is I think more things have to happen for Vettori to win. More ducks have to fall in a row for Vettori to win than for Israel. Like, I think he has to throw volume, not get countered, be able to push Israel up against the cage. And in those moments, when he's shooting and throwing punches, maybe clip Israel or take Israel down. And he has to do that for 5 rounds without getting hurt from Israel. And I don't necessarily see that being able to occur. That's just my prediction there. So I see that Israel's very good at moving away and changing angles as he's moving away, which is not easy to do. So I don't know that Vettori is going to be able to get him. In as far as Deiveson versus Brandon Moreno, I think if Brandon Moreno gets it out of the first 2 to 3 rounds, I think he'll probably cause a lot of damage there. Having said that, in that first fight, I think Deiveson swung for the fences, and he would have won the fight had he have not got deducted a point. So, man, I'd probably have to go with Deiveson as much as my heart says Moreno. Then Diaz versus Leon Edwards, like I said earlier, I think Edwards, both being southpaws, I think Edwards is going to land that low kick to the legs a lot because Edwards very fast on his feet, able to move in and out, creates good angles. I see him doing that. I see that we have one of the guys that uses the elbow the best in probably in the UFC, if not at least in that welterweight division. And he throws that in combinations when he clinches, when he on the break, he gets a whizzer, throws the knees, and then throws the elbow over the top on the break. And he's throwing that against one of the guys that cuts the easiest in the UFC. So you got a guy that cuts people the most, probably, against one of the guys that cuts the most. So that gets cut the most. So, I see Edwards, if Edwards can hurt him, chop down his legs, cut him open in those first 2-3 rounds. The thing is, Edwards is not known as being like a one-stop shot power striker. So I see him hurting Diaz. I see him cutting him open. I see him kicking the legs. Having said all of that, if he can't get Diaz hurt or out of there in the first 3 rounds, I have seen Leon slow down a little bit, and Diaz doesn't slow down. Diaz keeps coming on. So that's going to be very interesting. But my pick there is Edwards. Who else we got? Belal Muhammad versus Demian Maia. I think Demian Maia can do his single leg to half guard to deep half to body lock, that kind of combination. I think he can do that to Belal. Belal is good at keeping the fight on the feet, but he's not the most dynamic, crazy ass striker that is in that division. Then Paul Craig versus Jamahal Hill. Paul Craig is either going to shoot a double leg off a combination and pull guard and try and submit Jamahal Hill, or at some point Jamahal Hill's going to find his chin with the power that he possesses. That's how I see it. Anyone have any engineering internships? Laugh out loud. No, I don't. I'm sorry. Stephen Morgan, what round does Israel win, do you think? I think it'll be about 3 or 4. I don't know. I have no idea. I think Israel will win. I don't necessarily know what round he'll win. Joseph says, how many times do you think, if any, Vettori will take Izzy down? I don't think he'll take him down early. I don't think he'll be able to take him down early. That's all I've got to say on that. Stephen Morgan says, I think it'll be similar to the Costa knockout. It could be, but I think Vettori's more savvy than Costa on the feet. Mark Whelan, come on, guys. There's only 29 likes. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, Mark Whelan. Please do. I think, he could knock Vettori out, but it won't be the way that it was with Costa, because I see Vettori being more savvy. Do you think Paul Craig will bring it home for Scotland after Jojo got robbed? I don't know. I didn't see the fight, man. So I don't know. I don't know about the Jojo fight. I don't know if Paul Craig will bring it home. I think it's a tough fight for him. I'm not saying he can't, but I think it might be a tough one. Abramont says, sup. So excited for these fights. Yes, sir. Hey, Fab, enjoy the new journey under the fair one. Let's get it on. What a card. I'm so pumped for this card. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Martovi says it was interesting how Diaz compared Leon's rise in the UFC to GSP's. Maybe. Eli's back. Edwards, Figueiredo, and Adesanya for the multi. All finishes. Nice. Don't trust anything Eli says, so just be careful with that. Randy, the press conference was funny at Jack the Ripper. Anthony Hewitt says, sup. The Hungarian hustler says, sorry, Fab, I can't agree. This is going exactly like the Costa fight. All right. Well, we'll see. I just think that Vettori has more weapons than Costa does. He just his wrestling alone allows for a different element. Costa really doesn't have that. Anthony Hewitt, anyone know a stream that is showing the fight? Having said that, I'm not saying Israel can't finish him early. I can see Israel finishing him early. Greg Fern says, so you're saying Paul Craig is a limited fighter with a questionable chin? I get it. Scotland hater. I'm actually a huge fan of Scotland. I've got a lot of friends from Scotland. I'm not saying he's a limited fighter, but if you want to put words in my mouth, I just think that's one thing that he does, kind of thing, and he does. And his boxing is improving, but I think that's kind of how he fights. Not, I'm sure he's probably capable of a lot more. The stream is down for me. I'm gonna hopefully get this stream back. I think I'm up. Yeah, it's up. What time is it for you, Fab? Midday. Uh, Fab, why the fair one and not the golden gazelle? You have to look up what a fair one is. Gigi says, I think Paul Craig gets too flustered when the other guy is confident in their skills. The Hungarian hustler says, Israel has improved his jiu-jitsu and wrestling, mark my words. I have no doubt that Israel's jiu-jitsu and wrestling was good anyways to begin with. So, um, yeah, I have no doubt about that. I don't know. Let's see this fight. Bill Russell has 11 rings. Yes, he does. Fab is right. Is he by KO? Look, it could be by Israel by KO. I'm interested to see the fight. Fabricio, the fair one, he dare put that on the merch. I won't put that on the merch. Mark Whelan says, yeah, Nate is a bleeder big time. I don't think Leon will need to KO Nate. The doctor will probably stop it before that if it gets cut bad. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And I think that's where this fight people are going to be like, oh, man, da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's going to be, well, that's a matchup, though. So Lancelot says, which matchup do you think draws more, Whittaker versus Adesanya in Australia or Whittaker versus Adesanya in Italy? Don't know what COVID restrictions Italy has, though. Well, Italy got smashed by COVID, so I don't know, but I wouldn't be traveling there anytime real soon. Okay, so Lancelot Vettori in versus Adesanya in Italy. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you mean if Vettori were to win? I don't know. If Vettori were to win, I think it'd be massive for not just for Italy, but Europe in general. I think would be pretty big. So I don't know. Whereas Whitaker's been at the top in Australia for a while, so he's more closer. I don't know. I have no idea about the environment in Italy, but I think at least here Whitaker's closer to being more of a household name. Not really a household name, but more probably closer to that. I don't know how big Vettori is in Italy, to be honest with you. Izzy Carter says Vettori is different fighter since their first fight. Izzy in two though. Yeah, like I said, I think that Vettori can win, but more ducks have to line up in a row for Vettori to win. Whereas for Israel, I think Israel has more chance of just being Israel to win. Fluxion Tech Zone says Israel would have a good fight. Vettori will try, but Israel would decode and have the day. Christian Lorenz says, happy weekend, Fab. Out of all the fights tonight, which one are you most excited for? That Riddell fight with Drew Dober was one, and Nate versus Edwards for sure. And then, of course, the two main events. I'm interested, but I like them all. Davin says, what was the reason for the channel name change, if I may ask? I think it was always on the cards. We were always going to change the channel name regardless. It was just, we was going to wait a little bit longer, but yeah, just, especially since we got hacked as well, we changed I just wanted to change the name and just go to a few different things and go with that. Just kind of when that occurred, we didn't know if we were going to be able to get the podcast back. So when that happened, we were a couple of weeks without and we didn't know if we were going to be able to get the podcast back or not. So we'd kind of already started the process of changing things anyways. And so then we got it back, which was great. So we didn't lose all of our subscribers and all of that. So then we were able to start to go, okay, let's just change the name. So that's kind of how it happened. Ewan Ferguson says there's not many people called Lance anymore, but people used to be called Lancelot. We should, yeah. You know what? Every guy named Lance that I've met was always like a tough dude growing up. Like always like the tough guy in the area in the group. Jamahal and Paul Craig are not happy with each other. They're not happy with each other at all. I was listening to Jack Slack's that's the thing. Somebody asked me about Scotland. I was listening to Jack Slack talk about the shout out to Jack Slack's podcast, by the way. I really like it. I was listening to him talk about Paul Craig, and he said it exactly right. Like Paul Craig doesn't fight the way he looks. He looks like a guy, like rough and tumble dude. Puts the Braveheart face mask on, all of that. And you'd think he'd be like bite on my mouth guard, throw bombs kind of guy, but he's not. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy. So it's just a funny thing as well. It's kind of throws you off. Not a criticism. I saw the Terrence McKinney thing, and then he hurt his knee. Bill Russell says there will be no fights in Melbourne anytime soon. Yeah, 100%. Israel would have the Hungarian hustler says, I hope Leon gets his title fight after this because there's no other person in the UFC that deserves the company to give the guy what he deserves. Leon deserves it for sure. Ewan Ferguson says, why does Vettori look so awkward in every photo? Honestly, really like him as a fighter though. Only learned about him in the first Adesanya fight, but have been a fan since. Yeah, man, some people are not that photogenic. You know what I mean? That's all it means. Mark Whelans, Terrence got that early KO and while celebrating hurt his knee. Yeah, I saw that. Juice says the fair one refers to Fab's skin tone. You racist bastard. Ewan Ferguson, I'm very out of the loop as work has been rough. What happened with the hacking mentioned? I can't talk about it too much. It got the podcast got hacked into and it was deleted off YouTube, but through YouTube and a whole bunch of other stuff, we were able to get it back, luckily, without losing too much. But yeah, that's all that happened. But in the interim, we were oh shit, it's been hacked. So we started setting up a new podcast, a new name and everything. But we're back on now, so that's good. Jamahal Hill with some amazing dance work. See, I could never do what this guy's doing. I could never go out and dance and be all relaxed in that. I'm very self-conscious and I'm a terrible, terrible dancer and singer. And he's doing all those things so easily. He's dancing and singing and smiling. 3 things that I find difficult to do all at once. Martovi, the Ballina Bruiser. That's Eli. Michael Kane says, thanks, Fab. A lazy Sunday on the couch watching your podcast. I like your commentary. A great show. Thank you, sir. Anthony Hewitt says, Leon Edwards, 3rd round TKO. Easy 4th round TKO. Figueiredo win by decision. I'm rooting hard for Moreno, though. Could be. Ewan Ferguson, the Lance thing was a bad joke. I apologize. It wasn't a bad joke, Ewan. It was not a bad joke. First Australian says, Vettori has to get within touching distance for doubles or singles. Izzy has a 6-inch reach advantage, so I can see him picking Marvin apart on the outside. 100% agree. That's why I say to you, like, more ducks have to come into a line for Vettori to win. I don't think it's impossible. I don't even think it's that difficult to conceive that he could win. Just more things that have to happen perfectly for him to win than he's got like all the skills to be able to beat anyone on any given night. And Israel's no different. But more ducks have to line up for him to win. That's all I'm saying to you. Roy C says Jack Slack is hilarious. He is. I don't listen to him enough because I don't really have enough time to listen to all of that, but I like watching him. I like listening to it. The Hungarian Hustler says, are you going to have any guests on these watch-alongs, Fab? Love the back and forth with Elo, and I'm sure you have many friends who can make a good night of conversation every now and then. Yes, but it's hard, man. It's hard because I have to line people up. Like, say, for example, Eli is not free when I'm free, and we don't live near each other. So there's all of that. Then I have to line someone up that knows about fighting, that's going to give up basically all of their Sunday day to come and do it, and that it's it's hard, and I have to line it up with my day, with their day, and the rest of it. So not right now. Right now, I'm just enjoying doing this with you guys and building it up, and just going forward with it. Greg Fern says shots fired at the culture. What do you mean by that? Mark Whelan says you and Ferguson, I got it. Your play on words. Your play on words. Stephen Ferguson says you think if Nate somehow wins, he will get a title shot. I believe they want to have Nate in a title shot because that will open up a lot of things if Nate were to win the title somehow. That could, yeah. Sir Lancelot says, Paul Craig always looks like he walked off set from Braveheart. Now the Scots are intense. That's what I mean. But I never picked the Scots as being like fight off their back jiu-jitsu guys, you know what I mean? Which I'm not criticizing. It's an observation. Christian Lorenz says, have you ever said bugger off, mate, to an American tourist? Never. I don't even say bugger off, mate, period. Ewan Ferguson says, really glad to still have your contributions regardless. Thank you, sir. Christian Lawrence says, Ali was a terrible dancer outside of the ring. Was he now? Christian Lawrence says, so he claimed. But Bruce Lee was a Cha-Cha champion at age 17. Yes, he was. I do know that. I read his book when I was a little kid. He was a Cha-Cha champion when he was a kid. Randy says, hi, Fab. I love the new podcast name and the logo is sick. Thank you, Randy. Good. All been a supporter since day one of the podcast. Matovi says, sorry, Fab. Got to head out and get stuff for housewarming. I'll return to watch from a different location. Thank you, sir. Have a good day, man. Hey, Bruce, are you back here, man? Is Bruce back? How did Bruce go? Bruce left yesterday. We were watching Bellator, and Bruce went to ask a girl out. And I just want to know then. I just want to know about how that went. If he was able to, if he could intrigue the young lady to a dance. Craig and Hill are up now. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Pip. So I got a mate, right, that the Vitruvian man, which is up there on the thing, he's like a rough and tumble surfing dude, right? But he died when he was 12 years old, but they revived him. He got hit with a surfboard in the head and it broke his head and he drowned. He was on the bottom of the water, and as he was dying in the water, he looked up, but he was gone. He was at the bottom of the water and he saw the Vitruvian man, that symbol that I have. And anyways, they saved him. They took him out. He died twice on the way to the hospital or something. Then he had a massive hole in his head with skin covering his brain, but no skull. And they were grafting something or some putting like a metal plate in his head. But something happened that he couldn't wear it. So he could touch his own brain when he was a kid. And he had to wear a stack hat to school and, to go and play with his friends and everything. Right. But he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't wear the stack hat because he didn't want to be like odd one out. So he'd run around and play football and run around in the bush here, do everything and take his stack hat off with a hole in his head that he could touch his brain. He just had like this flap of skin over it. And I don't understand how much anxiety he must have put his mother through. But he saw the Vitruvian man. Rick James says, Paul Craig walks out looking a warrior killer, then dives for single legs. You got this. No, he does. He and I'm not laughing at him. But he's got that thing, like he looks like that, but he's a guard player, which is cool. Paul Craig's fighting right now. Lauchi says, should be a good fight. Love the commentary, Fab. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Greg Fern says, I know who Fab's rooting for in this one. Who am I rooting for, Greg Ferns? I like Paul Craig. And I like Jamahal Hill. These guys, but it isn't going the distance. This fight's not going the distance. Jamahal Hill is also funny. He looks like a big, like mean dude, but he's got like a baby face when you see it. It's a card of contradictions. Jamahal Hill's got his way outside of Paul's lead leg. So Paul's got to start being careful of that left hand that's going to come down the middle from Jamahal Hill. Jamal's lead foot is way outside of Craig's lead foot. Jamahal looking very, very comfortable. He's pushing Craig back to the peripheries of the cage. Craig looking for an oblique kick to Jamahal's lead leg. Jamahal looking very relaxed, throws a kick to the body. He has now moved Paul Craig all the way back to the peripheries. Paul Craig looks for a body lock, looks for a lateral drop, but Jamahal is able to counter it. So the counter to, for anyone that doesn't know, the counter to lateral drop. So when somebody goes to throw you to their left, so I'll go to throw you to my left on a lateral drop, is for you to take a big step with your right foot, and that allows you to lift the person back up. You can then throw them back if you like. Paul Craig goes looking. Oh! He may get this armbar. His elbow's out. His elbow's almost out by Jamahal Hill. I did not think that Paul Craig was going to get that arm lock that I think Frank Mir has made quite famous in MMA. Jamahal Hill better get his arms out of there, man. Oh, nice armbar by Paul Craig. Nice armbar. He fucking snapped his arm, I think. Oh, he's put the triangle on. He's put the triangle on Jamahal Hill. He's put a massive triangle on. Jamahal Hill's in all sorts of trouble. Jamahal Hill looks to be out yet. He's not out. Oh, my God. I haven't seen anything like this ever. Fucking hell. Stop the fight, ref. He killed him. He snapped his arm. Paul Craig and the guard pulling. Fucking wow. I haven't seen anything like that. That's performance of the fucking century. I haven't seen anything like that ever in my life, dude. I've seen dudes get caught in triangles and get their heads elbowed, but I haven't seen anything like that happen before in my life, like where the arm's just swinging back and forwards with a broken arm. Jamahal Hill didn't tap. Great show of respect from both guys. Jamahal Hill is a tough motherfucker, man. He's so fucking tough. And Paul Craig, mate, keep doing your thing, man. And that's what I mean. He looks one way, but he fights completely a different one. That arm was locked. Look at this. He went for the other arm. He trapped it nicely. So Jamahal was defending that arm that he'd originally gone for. Very tricky, very smart. Look at this. It fucking snaps. Oh, my God. Oh, it dislocated his elbow. Oh, my God. And Paul Craig's talking to the ref saying, I snapped it. And then he's just landing these shots. Look at how Jamahal's arms moving in the triangle. Oh, my God. Look at that. That's bad, man. That's a bad dislocation. If not a snap, could be any kind of snap. Who knows? Fucking Scotland. Go hard. Paul Craig, man. Go the Scots. Wow. Fucking wow. Oh my God. He snapped Jamahal's arm bad. Oh my God, Jamahal Hill, go, just leave. Your arm's fucked. You're so tough, dude. Stop it. Oh my God. And he's standing there waiting for the decision. His arm's fucked. And he's so nice to him too. Paul Craig's a monster, but Jamahal Hill, Jesus, man, his arm looks fucked. Oh. Ewan Ferguson's, holy shit, I dislocated my elbow before and I was in agony. Can't comprehend how he tried to continue. I can say the adrenaline would have covered a lot of it, but Jesus. Ewan Ferguson says, I couldn't even form words. Like, how did he continue? I don't know, dude. Joseph says, not the ref's fault. I think he didn't tap. Yeah, like, it happened quick, man. Like, you're watching it. You can't really blame the ref for it because he was caught in a triangle at this point. He's very smart the way he did this. Because he'd already attacked one arm. He set that arm up, and then he went for the other one. It got him so good. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, he didn't tap. He fucking dislocated. He's still going. He's still going. He's fighting. The ref can't stop it there. You know what I mean? You don't know if you dislocated it, if you pop back in. But fuck me dead in there fucking. Oh, Jesus. Oh, look at it there. Oh, my God. Oh, and then the ref stops it. It's hard to tell, man, because like to me, it looked like what the fuck, his arm's fucked. And now you get to see it a million times over, and everyone's going to criticize the ref, But I haven't seen an arm swing like that before, the way it was swinging. I've never ever seen anything like that. I've never seen like someone caught in a triangle and arm just swinging because he broke it in the armbar. Oh. Stephen Morgan says, fucking hell, he was trying to tap. That was fucking heavy. Maybe he was. I don't fucking know, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it happened pretty quick as well, like as you're watching it live. But, Mark Whelan says they will never take our freedom. He's a monster. All Scots are crazy, mad machines. Dude. CSS Voden says, oh, hello, Fab. And I say hello back. Sorry. I was just thinking about that injury, dude. That was insane. Ewan Ferguson says there's no way he popped it back in yourself. There's no way that he pops that in. That arm's not just dislocated, it's probably broken as well. Like, Ewan Ferguson says, not like a shoulder where it pops back. Nah, man. That fucking arm is gone, dude. Gone. Greg Fern says, Fab will be gutted at that result. You're such a monster. Bear Buck says, how do you people watch replays of that? That was crazy. Ewan Ferguson's ligaments are ripped, tendons are gone. Yeah, that arm was fucked, dude. That arm is like he could even have nerve damage or something done to that arm. That arm needs to be right now taking a surgery, like right this second. You don't even know how that could affect the blood supply of that arm. He needs to go right this second. A guy that I know that just lives up the road, he dislocated his shoulders, an older guy. And everything came off, and I think it was just held on by the supraspinatus by like 2 millimeters or something. And he was within a couple of weeks of losing his arm, if he didn't get surgery right there and then, like right when he did. Honestly, Kenahuna says, Jesus, what a fucking horrible ref. Honestly, it's hard, man. Because you're watching from a different perspective. Like, I'm telling you, reffing is hard. You go ref for like a basketball game or whatever. You don't have the thing where you can go, was that a travel? Like, you have to go travel straight away. If he had called that fight straight off the bat, he doesn't have the benefit of hindsight that we do. If he had called it and the guy had said, no, I didn't tap or whatever, he would have been fucked as well, So it's hard, Look, I understand what you mean, though. I do agree, like, that arm looked about as broken as it could get. So I do agree with you. Don't get me wrong. Fab, do you have a Discord server? We did have a Discord. I think it's Grange TV, but I don't really know about it. I have to get on it. Ewan Ferguson says Reddit has the replay already. Joseph says, I hope Maia can pull this off. Fucking Paul Craig did. Probably tore some things. He's 100% tore some things. Did it pop or break? Man, I think that tore, popped, and broke. That's what I think. Juice says, was he trying to tap? I don't know. Pip Dennison says, go Scotland. My mum's dad was from Maryhill, Glasgow. I don't need much of an excuse to like a fighter. You got to like Paul Craig. I'm a fan of Jamahal Hill too, man, after that. Who would have thought those silly aggressive Scots would have been able to do jiu-jitsu? Honestly, that's what I'm saying to you. That's all I said about Paul Craig. I didn't say anything bad. I just said when you look at him, you'd think he'd just be like this hardcore Muay Thai guy. And he's got this slick jiu-jitsu off his back. Aussie-born Kiwi. Damn, Hill and Craig had a little altercation in Embedded. Laugh out loud. They both seem like super intense guys, so it is what it is. What was the altercation anyways? Myanmar says it was like a wet fish classic lines. Us Scots are nuts. Walter WW says it didn't even cross his mind to tap. Yeah, I don't think he tried to tap. Pip Dennison says great commentary. Thank you for the support, my friend. WR says sub Fab. Got a strange feeling there is going to be a quick finish from Edwards in the Diaz matchup. Could be. Mech says, easy to say that about the ref, but their careers are in their hands. Man, it's a tough job, man. Fucking tough job. Tough job. Blunt says, link with your Mr. Clean looking ass. I don't know what that means. Greg Fern says, that was clearly a commission ref. He's maybe not so experienced doing the best he can. TJ says, I'm here when I'm watching fights on my own. Appreciate what you do, brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Man, that was so hard because I was watching that. Even like with the ref, I was watching that. I was thinking like, fuck, dude, that fight's over. Like, call the fight. I did think that too. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with you. All I'm saying is that it's a stupidly hard job, the reffing. When it goes bad, it goes bad. Like there for that fight, I don't think any ref could have really stopped that. You know what I mean? Like the arm shattered and then he got caught in a triangle. I don't know. Could he have stopped it a couple of seconds earlier? Yeah, he could have. It still would have been fucked. His arm was flopping around. It was completely broken in half. Yeah, it was. Like I said, I have never seen anything like that in my life, ever. Mark Whelan says, from experience, I know when you dislocated your shoulder, it's agony after trial and error. And if I cut my hand under my armpit and lift, it comes good. Yeah, this guy's arm was fucked though. I don't know. I don't think it was that. Kenahuna, what a great switch of the arms from right to left. The way he did that, dude, the way he did that was so good. He threw that, because he caught him in that right, like kind of, it's like a key lock that you catch him from the guard. He caught him in that, in the right one. I was watching it going, holy shit, he's going to get him with this. And then Jamahal got out of there somehow. He should have just scooted out and had nothing to do with that guard anymore. But then he set that back up. And so when Jamahal started defending that, he threw the armbar on the other arm, and it was so deep. Chuck Les says, excellent call, Fab. That response was up there with good old JR from WWE. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm going to say thank you. Stephen Morgan says, I don't know. I'm convinced he tried to snap. You could see it in his face. He shit himself that he started flailing to try and tap, I think. He might have. But we only know that, like, sitting here. Like, sitting here, I agree with you. I'd say to you, fuck, that looked pretty obvious that the fight was done. Sitting here. In real time, I don't know, man. I'm not a ref. I don't envy their job. That's all I'm saying to you. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, as it was happening, I've never seen anything like that in my life, ever. That was gruesome and brutal. Okay, let me just see. I'm just going. Ref probably just thought Jamahal has crazy flexible joints. Nah, dude. I don't know what was happening in that situation. Boston Boss says the full fight is already up on YouTube. Fuck. Avramont says Paul Craig really is a magician on the ground. He has lost some by submission on the ground, though. I will say that. He has lost some by submission on the ground. Joseph says it's hard for any ref to assume that his arm is broken during the fight. Now, could he have used his own judgment? Yes, but it's hard if you're in the middle of that situation. There is an element of truth to that, Joseph. Like, if he calls that and Jamahal's like, nah, because we know that now in hindsight. If he calls that and Jamahal's like, no, I'm good. My arm's fucked, but look, I can move it or whatever. Because he called it. Like, it wasn't like he didn't call it. He did call it, If he had called it too early, and I don't know, we know, like, hindsight happens very, very quickly. Hindsight happens within, you don't need 2 weeks of hindsight. Hindsight a lot of times happens 1 second. 1 second. Like, you go, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sure if you ask Jamahal Hill, he's like, I should have backed out of that guard. He would have thought that the moment he got caught in that armbar, he would have thought, fuck, I should have just backed out of this guard. Thrown bombs and got out of the guard. But that's hindsight, so it's a hard job, man. That's all I'm saying to you. Hog League, on who play now? Maia. Maia's about to fight. I reckon that Muhammad is good enough jiu-jitsu against Maia. Not if he plays jiu-jitsu. He might be able to stop the takedowns or something like that, but if he gets down there and does jiu-jitsu against Demian Maia, it's going to end fucking badly. Stephen Morgan says, no, I'm not even disagreeing with you. I did not notice the arm till about 2 seconds before it got stopped. Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like as I was saying, I was like, holy fuck, I've never seen anything like that because I never seen the arm was like pendulum, pendulum, like left, right. But sometimes you don't know, man. Like that also showing you the guy's not out, in the triangle. Like because it was no longer an armbar, it was now a triangle, and so the guy wasn't out in the triangle. You have to assume that the arm swinging the way that it was broken. And the ref's going to cop shit. And I honestly tell you this, I don't think it would matter what ref was in there. That arm was going to get destroyed, shredded, no matter what happened. He lost one to Kimura. Yes, he did. Against Jimmy Crute, I believe. Remember when Dan Harden getting his arm wrecked versus GSP? Sometimes it's worse than it looks. Sometimes it's better than it looks. 100%. I've seen a guy, I can't remember who it was. It was a Russian dude. And he got caught in an armbar and his arm popped back in, and it happened a few times in the fight. He got got a Kimura, and the Kimura didn't go on the shoulder, it went on the elbow. And the same thing, like it popped at a weird angle and popped back in. Then he got armbarred and it popped back in, but not as bad, nowhere near as bad as this, because Paul Craig wrapped it around his leg, but the guy didn't get that kind of crazy pop, and the ref didn't call it, man. Same as the Tony Ferguson with the heel hook, Tony Ferguson with the armbar against Charles Oliveira. Like, fuck, they're bad, dude. Clinton says, hello, are you going to show us a combat between Adesanya and Vettori? No, I'm not. Avramon says, by the way, I love your channel, dude. Thanks for doing this. Really fun listening to someone that knows their stuff and watching the fights. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Juice says, if his arm wasn't broke, how would he get out of that position? How would you get out of an armbar? Well, it depends. The first thing when people ask that is it depends who's doing the armbar. Paul Craig looks like he appreciates a good armbar. So, long guy, strong guy that knows how to armbar the way he does, and it got it in that deep because it was fucking deep. Very hard. There's a couple of ways, man, but I'm not going to be that insulting to say like Jamahal Hill could have done this. You can turn your thumb and follow your thumb around, but someone like Paul Craig is probably going to follow you anyways, and he's going to snap your arm regardless. How deep it was is not a lot he could do. You can try and take the foot that's over your head and try and take that off, hip escape into him, and try and get up that way. Again, it's very hard. How deep it was in, it's very, very hard. I'm not saying he could do that because we're off. Demian Maia and Belal Muhammad. Demian Maia in the southpaw stance. Demian Maia throwing a left hand down the middle. Demian Maia will be shooting on this lead leg of Belal's very, very soon. Belal trying to move and give different movements, give different looks. Goes with a 1-2 down the pipe, switches southpaw momentarily, and then back to orthodox. Demian Maia shoots a double. Belal is able to keep him off him. Left hand by Demian Maia. That single leg is where Maia's going to go. That single leg all day. I think Maia's going to set up a left high kick in the midst of all of this. Okay, let's see. Oh, nice little right hand by Belal. Nice little right hand. Demian looking for that lead single. He's got it. There's a lead single that he has it. Look for him to drop in a half guard at some point, even if he pushes him up against the cage. This is what Demian Maia likes to do. Belal showing off some decent balance here, trying to cross face, and now he's trying to push the head down. But Maia loves this position. He's very, very comfortable here. I do believe Maia's going to drop in a guard himself in this position at some point. I don't think he's going to let this one go. Now he goes from a single to a double leg. He's in deep on the double. His hands are latched underneath Belal's bum. Belal's cross-facing him as much as he can. Maia gets it to the ground. Belal's still posting on that right hand. He's doing everything right, is Belal. As in, he has not capitulated the takedown, and he's trying to work his way back up, which is what you got to do. You cannot stop. When you stop and you start playing jiu-jitsu with someone like Demian Maia, you start losing. I don't know how age is going to affect Demian Maia if this goes into the third round of this kind of fight. But whilst they're still grappling, and like the wrestle here takes a lot out of both people, and I don't think this benefits Demian. But once Demian gets him on his back and starts to work grappling and starts to pass a guard and Belal's having to work, that benefits this whole little thing that occurred now benefit Belal. Because you shooting and not being able to hold someone down takes a huge amount of strength. Right hand by Belal. Mark Whelan says, yeah, I agree. It's broken. But to be honest, I've broken my leg, both tibia and fibula. Ah! Yet the dislocated shoulder is more painful. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Kenahuna says, we're getting another submission in this fight. I do not know. Double leg entrance here by Demian Maia. Demian Maia's pushed him up against the cage. He's in deep on a single leg. He's Maia. Pushes his leg down to the ground. Very good by Muhammad. Muhammad now is cross-facing Demian Maia. He's still going. These things do not help Demian. When he shoots and he can't get the takedown, it just benefits him. It benefits Muhammad. There's a lot of energy being expended shooting that double. Now Belal is moving Maia backwards. I don't think Maia's going to win this fight after this first round and a bit. Because it really starts to take its toll on you. Shooting like that and working really hard to try and take someone down and not being able to do it is very, very difficult. If he can't get him down now, which I don't think he will, it's going to be a long night for Demian, I think. He's working really hard to get that single leg. There's 56 seconds to go. He's working and working and working. I'd like to see him actually try and get maybe a heel hook here, like drop into a heel hook or something like that, because he hasn't got much time here to go. And he needs to launch some sort of an attack to keep Muhammad guessing. Look for him to get that leg out to the side, and I think he will drop into a heel hook if he can. Like here, I think he'll probably try and do it. There's 27 seconds to go. If he can lift that leg a little higher so he can clear the knee line. Because I don't think even if he gets Belal down now, what's he going to do? There's 15 seconds to go. He may as well drop into a submission. Even if he didn't get it. Like it's just something to do. Right high kick by Belal. 2 seconds to go. That's the round, guys. Kenahuna, I don't think we'll be seeing a submission by Demian Maia. Ian Masters, Gracie is a Scottish name and the Kings of BJJ are from Scottish descendants. Why wouldn't we be good at BJJ? That is 1000% true. I don't doubt that you guys would be. I just said he looks like a tough Muay Thai guy. Let me see. Sir Lancelot, Craig even looked at the ref like, come on, yeah, he did. Then proceeded to try and knock him out. Don't know what Jamahal said to the ref. Could have said he's good. Hopefully nothing long-term and quick recovery. Yeah, I don't know, man. Gaiman fan. I saw that, though. Paul Craig was like, man, I snapped it. Gaiman fan says, watching from Indian-occupied Kashmir. Love your analysis, man. This has become a regular for me. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Avramont says, Russians are built different. Juice says, it's true. That's why Scots wear kilts. It's better for BJJ. Roy C says, I've known people regularly dislocate the same joint. Gets to the point where they're so used to it, they don't react like normal people. Yeah, but that's not the same, because that means your ligaments are lax, right? And everything around that joint is lax and it just pops in and pops out. But if it's where it has to go for you to actually dislocate something, you either has to really strain the supporting structure or tear it. So, yeah, normal people won't react the same. If Maia got you in an armbar, only Jesus can save you. Yeah, more or less. I don't want to miss the fight. Just joining now. Did I miss anything from Albert Riddims? You missed a lot, my friend. You've missed a lot. Belal has chosen to go southpaw and is back to orthodox. He's giving Maia a lot of movement, a lot of different movement, a lot of different lateral movement. You see that Belal's back is all welted up from the fence, being pushed into the fence. Ooh, nice little jab, kind of shovel uppercut. Doubles up on the jab, does Muhammad. Maia goes looking for a left hand lead. Doesn't get it. Wow. Yeah, I don't think that Maia's going to get this guy to the ground. And if he doesn't get him to the ground, Muhammad's just going to keep doing what he's doing. I think this fight's going to go more or less the way that it's going. And it's enough for Belal to win. So congratulations to him if he can manage to keep doing this. Inside leg kick landed beautifully by Belal. Nice little combination by Maia, but he gets hit with a counter right hand himself. Maia's knees are all grazed up. He shoots deep on that double, doesn't get it, but he's in on the single, doesn't get that either. Now Belal will be all slippery. Maia's more tired. I think it's going to be even harder for Maia to finish this. I don't see Maia finishing this fight. He may get finished, but I don't see him finishing this fight. Left hand by Maia. Oh, Maia drops his level, feints a takedown, and Belal does like the mother of all sprawls. I'm a fan of Belal. Ooh, he hit Maia there with a cheeky little left hand. That one rocked like that one. Maia felt that hand. I like this little left hand over the shoulder when you're orthodox and they're southpaw and you throw like a little left hook over the top, a little like check hook. You saw Brad Riddell doing it. Muhammad has done it a few times. He to Liddell to Maia. It's worked quite well. It's a really nice little punch when you have orthodox to southpaw, and then the southpaw can do it back to the orthodox with the right hand check hook. I'm just going to see the red thumbnail threw me, bro. When did you change the channel name? Today, man. Today. I was telling you, like we were going to be changing that. Jackson Fulmer says, Fab, who do you think Nick Diaz's comeback fight will be? I was hoping he'd fight Dan Hardy. Love listening to your commentary. Very objective and descriptive. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Very flattering. Dan Hardy's comeback fight. Oh, you mean Nick Diaz? I was thinking Nick Diaz was going to fight Dan Hardy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see him fight. I don't know. I don't know because they're getting older. Those guys, you know what I mean. Nick Diaz is getting older. He's not a young guy anymore. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think if he's fighting at welterweight, who he could fight. Maia in on a single leg here. Maybe someone like Demian Maia, someone like that. Single leg. He's in nice and deep. He's pushed Belal up against the cage. Again, there's 42 seconds to go. Even if he gets Muhammad down now with 40 seconds to go, it's not. I don't see that. I don't see him being able to work like to get him down to get a submission. He's in deep on that single. He should just pull guard, try anything from here with 15 seconds to go. Because I don't know what, even if he got him down, what that's going to do. He's not going to win him the round. He's not going to think he's getting elbowed there from that position. 2 seconds to go. Huge amount of effort as well that he's putting into it. Mark Whelan says, Royce, you are correct. I've dislocated my shoulder more times than I can remember. That's why I put it back in myself by cupping my hand under my armpit and lifting. Ugh. Ewan says, you deserve a full commentary job after the Craig call, but this is all I can offer you to Little Eat There tonight. I hope she eats well today. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that, sir. I really, really appreciate any contributions. Guys, you can contribute through PayPal as well. All proceeds do go to the Little Eat There Foundation so that my daughter eats. So thank you very much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate any and all support. and not just a financial support. You guys that are on the show all the time, commentating and commenting and having a chat, and we're talking and going back and forwards. That's awesome. That's what I love to do the show. So thank you. Stephen Morgan says Bilal's balance has been unreal so far. Yes, it has, sir. Um, Empty the Cup says, why the name change? I've already explained it a few times today. We'd been hacked into, the social had been hacked into, and we're in the process of changing everything anyways because we didn't know if we were going to be able to get the channel back. But fortunately, through YouTube, we were able to get it back, and so we didn't have to change it. But we were always going to change it anyways. Um, when is the Nate Diaz match after this one? So probably in about 8 minutes. Mark Whelan says, ouch, makes me squirm every time I watch someone do that. My brother-in-law used to be like that, but then he got like a big surgery. But yeah, it was brutal. So Demian looking for the single leg again. Muhammad doing a fantastic job of defending. Both guys exchange punches. Four minutes to go. So Belal, in my opinion, has won both rounds convincingly. Oh, right hand hits Maia on the forehead, but hit him flush. Another right hand hits Maia flush. I'd like to see him come over the top with the left. Because you can do it as you circle to your own left, you can throw that. Um, David Morris says, damn, I'm late. I didn't get a notification because of the name change. That's shit because a lot of people did. I hear that some of the Danaher Death Squad are coming into MMA should be very interesting. Yes, it should. Yes, it will be. Um, well, there are some of them already fighting. You know what I mean? It's not like now Gary Tonon's doing really well at ONE FC. David Morris says, Fab, you should announce a name change on the Reddit MMA sub. I just did on the live chat, but you may want to do it as well. Thank you very much, David. I will. Rick James says, Belal needs to commit to one and chin check Maia at the end of the round. Mark Whelan says, Fab, do you think that if they met at a catchweight, Khabib versus GSP, both in the prime, would be the super fight? I don't know if it'd be the super fight. I think there's been a lot of the super fights. I think GSP and Anderson was one that was always the super fight. I think there's been a few Anderson and John Jones. I think there was talk of that at one time. Um, but it'd definitely be a super fight. And Belal is controlling this fight very, very well. Maia's not going to get off on this takedown at all. I don't see it happening. And even if he did, I don't think with Belal being as slippery as he is, that there's going to be enough time for him to finish Belal. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Maia can still knows grappling, but yeah, he's an older man now. David Morris says river trash. Okay, then I don't know what's happening. I didn't get a notification tonight, and I've got one for every card since I've been subbed for the last year or so. Man, that's sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry. Um, TJ says I'll save for him, like and subscribe. Although I'm sure we've all done it already. Hit the notification bell, please do. Algorithm says, going back to the Gracie name, Brazil is a huge melting pot. The state of Sao Paulo has the oldest football club, which is based from an old club from England, Corinthians. And it also has the biggest Japanese population outside of Japan, does Brazil. Mark Whelan says, you're more than worthy, Fab. Love your channel and your comments are so honest. It's awesome. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it, Mark. I'm really flattered by the support, guys. Ian Mar says, my shoulder went through 6 ribs when I had my accident. Brutal. What the fuck? How would that happen, Ian? How did that happen? 1 minute and 22 seconds to go. Doubles up on the jab, does Belal Muhammad. Oh, nice exchange there. Maia's not looking good. He's shoots in on this low single again. He's got the single leg, pushes Muhammad up against the cage. He's not going to finish Muhammad, and 55 seconds here to go. I don't know what. I think Maia now is more like just surviving the fight, So he's had an amazing career, an amazing, brilliant career, and I don't want to see him keep fighting. Belal did a fantastic job here of defending this. Belal's defending the single leg so well. 23 seconds to go. And Belal cruises to a win, in my opinion, unless something dramatic happens here. With this much time left on the clock, honestly, I'd like to see Maia just drop in for some sort of leg lock or whatnot because nothing that happens here is going to win him the fight. 2-1-0. Joseph says you got to click the notification bell to get notified. David Morris. Your boy Waffles. Why would I like or subscribe to 48p? I don't know what that means. Joseph says, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Greg Fern says, I didn't get a notification. I had to search anti-Scottish MMA commentary. My ethnic cleansing MMA commentary. I'm so sorry that in any sort of shape, way, or form, I gave away that I hate Scots. My cousin's actually married to a Scottish girl. He was living in Scotland, now he lives in England. And my friend is married to a Scottish girl as well. Your boy Waffle says, laugh out loud, my bad dude, it got much better. Your boy Waffle says, I'm concerned about Maia. Slad J, internet sucks. I know I'm from Sydney too, so I'll give him leeway completely. NBN is trash. Thank you, sir. Is Riddell versus Dober next? No, Riddell versus Dober was half an hour ago. No, more. An hour and a half ago. Coach, does defending a takedown score points? No, the way that and this was explained to me by Big John McCarthy before fights. It's based on damage, So if you get a takedown, even right, you've just changed the plane of the fight from standing to on the ground. You have to do something with it. So defending a takedown doesn't. If anything, if nothing else happened in the round and the other guy shot the takedown and pushed you up against the cage, theoretically, he's the one that's being the aggressor in the fight. So no. But I will say this: when you defend a takedown, it doesn't score points in as far as it does, like points like 1 point for you, but it really tires the other person out. It's one of the thing that takes the most amount of energy is shooting a double leg and not being able to get the guy down, or shooting a double leg, getting the guy down, and the guy just pops straight back up. Um, I've heard the internet is bad. I should have thought before I made the comment. Are you talking about my internet? The internet's bad, man. Ian Ma says, oh, I told you, yeah, yes, Fab. Landed on my head, mountain bike accident. Yes, I remember exactly. I remember your story when you told me that about you smashing yourself in the mountain bike. I remember talking to my wife about it, but I didn't know that. In fairness, I didn't know that your shoulder went through 6 ribs. Um, so I'm going to skip a couple just so that we're up to the same thing. Greg Fern says some of my best friends are Scottish. Classic. You like that? So I don't mean to be racist. I have a Scottish friend. Mark Whelan says it's funny now looking back at it, but once I was in bed and coughed and popped my shoulder out, I was so pissed off. Oh my god. Um, yes, Greg Ferns. Some of my best friends are Scottish. You people really know how to party. I'll tell you that though. I'll be back in a second. TJC says, based purely on style, my dream matchup, if they were in a similar weight, would be Whitaker versus Max Holloway. I know it's insane, but I see a lot of similarities. Thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate it. I'd like to see them fight now at that at their weights. Thank you, man. Thank you for your support of the channel, man. I really, really appreciate it. You guys don't understand how much it means to me. How much it helps to keep the channel going, because there is cost, just there's a lot of cost, and I really appreciate everything you guys do. So thank you so much. Greg Fern says, well, that is true. David Morris says, not a great way for Maia to end his career if that was it, but that's the way it goes. It's rare to end a fighting career on a high note. Still a legend of the sport in my book. 1000% a legend of the sport. Juice said, after Braveheart came out, I started telling everyone I'm Scottish, but I was a chubby brown Polynesian kid. Yeah, but you have that like 1% Scottish. That's okay, man. You got to own that. Ian Mars says, we aren't designed to land on our heads. Some of my friends are Scottish too. Unfortunately, then again, I do live here. Man, that story you told about your mountain bike accident is brutal. Mark Whelan, sometimes a fighter fights well beyond their use by date. I think Damian Maia is one of them. The problem is they don't know anything else but the fight game. Yeah, I think with Damian Maia, that was like he well past like his absolute prime, Nate Diaz is walking out now as well. He's a good fighter, man. I like Damian. I like Nate Diaz. Chuck Les says Maia was one of my favorites a decade ago when he choked out Lyman Good, I think, and Damian squeezed so hard blood shot out of Good's nose. Unreal. So thanks, Mr. Maia. Go and teach. I think that happened. I think he did that to Rick Story as well. The Diaz army. Diaz, Greg Fern says, you read, Fab? What you reading? Right now, I'm reading the Count of Monte Cristo. That's right now what I'm reading. But it's hard, man. It's hard for me to get proper time to read because just with like a lot of work that I have on, and a lot of stuff that I'm doing, and my daughter takes up a hell of a lot of time. I will tell you guys something, but don't tell anyone else. This is just between us. My wife and I are expecting a second baby. Don't tell anyone. No one knows. Just you guys. So by December, we will have another sister for my daughter. So yeah, I've been super busy with my daughter and that. Yesterday I went to the shops and I bought a banh mi, which is, for those that don't know, it's a Vietnamese chicken roll, or you can get pork rolls, but I eat the chicken ones. They're very, very good. And I had my daughter on my shoulders, and I'm talking to the little Vietnamese guy. And my wife is Asian, and so I say this again. Where's that dude? Where's Greg Ferns? Because I'm a racist bastard. So I have to give the disclaimer that my wife is Asian because of my racist story that I'm going to tell. And the Asians don't give a fuck, dude. Like the old Asian people, they ask you anything. They'll ask you how much money you earn, how much your house cost, all of that. And the little guy that I bought the banh mi of, this little Vietnamese guy, and I had my daughter on my shoulders, and he's like, "Oh, beautiful girl." He goes, "Is this your only one? You're a beautiful girl." And I said to him, "Yeah, yeah, it's my only one, but she's gonna have a sister soon." And he goes to me, "Oh, very, very nice. So no boys." And I said to him, "No, no boys." He goes, "Not yet, not yet." There's next one, next one. And I said to him, I don't know if we're gonna have more kids." And he goes, you have to have a boy. You want a boy? I said to him, "I don't care as long as they're healthy." And he goes, "You must have a boy. Your next one is going to be a boy." And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking, I just said to you, I don't know, And I said to him, "Yeah, we'll see it." He goes, "Next one, be a boy." And he got like fucking serious on me for a second. And I said to him, "All right." And he goes, next one, be a boy." And he just looked at me like that while I walked off like this. And I well left. Anyways, okay. Okay, let me go back to this. TJ says here, I hear fighters and commentators talking about how bad the judging is sometimes. Do you have any thoughts and ideas? I mean, I've spoken about it before. The judging can be bad, but you have a subjective decision by three people. If you have more people, it's going to be worse. Like, whenever you have like kind of subjective decisions like that, it's hard, man, because think about an election. Think about an election, right? You have, I don't know, in Australia, 25 million people, right? And every single time there's an election, half the country isn't fucking happy. So I don't know how you're going to change that. It's very hard. And again, it's another job that I'm telling you is very, very, very hard job to do. It's not easy. So it's easy to shit on people as well. Um, because one half of people aren't going to be happy. In a close decision, half the people aren't going to be happy. Have there been some shockers? Yes. We've been here, like us, all of us, watching the fights. And as we're watching them, like I'm like, okay, that was a pretty da da da. And I'll say that and I'll turn and then I'll turn back and they've given the fight to the other person. And yeah, there have been some shockers. But generally, I think they get it right. Like, I mean, it sucks with the times that they get it wrong for the person, but yeah, it's tough. It's a tough job. Joseph says, congrats, Hefe. Thank you, sir. A lot of congratulations from everyone. Sorry, guys, I'm going to skip a few. Everyone's congratulating me, man. Thank you very much, guys. Joseph says that's just a coach Fab asking for more donations. We brainstormed. How can I get more donations? Mark Whelan says, how can you not like the cool kid who tells the teacher to get fucked? What happened there? Tell me what happened there with telling the teacher to get fucked. Congrats on my bro. Everyone says congratulations. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the congratulations. Greg Fern says some of my best friends are Asians. And Joseph says that, my friends, is Uncle Fab's story of the day. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut says next one, have a boy. Man, he was so fucking serious. We went from we're pleasant, we're cool, to like next one, have a boy. Very, very serious. Greg Fern says the accent might be a bit risky in 2021. Mate, I'm just telling you how it was. Grumio says sun has risen in the UK, still awake and watching. Hope all is well, Fab. Fuck, man, I feel sorry for you guys in the way when you have to watch it. I'm going to skip a few people. Tasman Andrews, could they have 5 judges instead of 3? I don't think that would make any difference, dude. Like I said to you before, you have elections and half the country's pissed off at the decision. And albeit it's a different kind of election, but it's still like you still have half the country not happy, man. You got 25 million people voting. Juice says repopulate. Says the Vietnamese guy's trying to repopulate Australia with Asians, and then he says, "I'm joking. I have Asian friends. I love Asians." Gives a racist disclaimer. Ewan Ferguson says, "Grumio, oh shit, I'm stuck in an office. That sun's out already." Pip Dennison's laughing. It's the truth, man. Bert says, my man, not seeing what was racist about that story. You just went through the same shit all the rest of us Asians go through. Ha ha ha. Are you Asian, Bert? Because man, it was fucking funny, man, to me. He got serious, but he got real serious. Thank you, Brutus. How'd it go, my brother? How'd it go with the girl? We're off, people. We're off. Leon trying to walk Nate back onto the cage, onto peripheries of the octagon. Leon Edwards switching to orthodox. Nate in the southpaw stance, Leon in the orthodox stance. Both looking very composed. Nate skirting the peripheries of the cage. Bit of showmanship from both. Nate laughs, throws a slap out there, goes right hand to the body, walks away from Leon. Leon walks around as well. They're both walking around. Nate puts his hands on his hips, then lunges at Leon. Nice left kick from Leon. That's what I was expecting from the southpaw stance. Bit of showmanship from Nate. Both these guys in southpaw stance now. And I do believe that Leon is going to start to chop away at that leg right on cue. It's already hurt Nate. Right behind the knee, that one. Oh! Nate skirting the outside of the octagon. Leon swinging a miss on that low kick. But Leon very, very smart to chop that leg down. That's what I believe he was going to do from the start. Nice little combinations from both boys. Leon stalking him. Feinting with a kick from orthodox stance is Leon. Nate skirting the outside of the octagon. Nate with a low kick of his own. Nate has to kick with the kicker. He has to. He can't give Leon the right of way with the kicks the whole time. But I don't know how many more of those full pelt kicks Nate can take from Leon on that lead leg, because Leon is really winding up. Nice left hand by Leon. Doesn't land flush. Nate asking him to come forward. Oh, big left kick by Leon again. He's really getting a wind up on that kick. Nate talking to him, calling him forward, doubling up on his jab, pushing Leon back. Oh, nice little barrage of punches by Nate. Talking to Leon, moving Leon backwards. They clinch. This is, I think, the problem going to be. Watch for the elbow from Leon on the break. Whenever they're close like this, I think the better grappler is Nate, but Leon is going to go for the elbow on the break, I believe. Leon very competent with his jiu-jitsu as well. That hip lock there that he has on Nate, because he couldn't get the right hook in, is extremely effective. I actually, in some ways, even prefer it, to be honest with you, because it allows you to get back up to your feet or allows you to move a little in different ways. That hip lock is very, very effective. Nate's very, very, very well versed on the ground, though. Leon looking for that hook, but Nate's not going to give it to him. 54 seconds to go. Leon goes looking for Nate's back. He had wrist control. Nate's very comfortable here in the turtle. Leon doing a fantastic job of just staying on top and riding Nate. Landed a big right hand in. He's got this deep hook in. Nate worked his way out of it, rolled into guard. Nate's got a very, very active, very, very good guard. Got feet on the hips and pushed Leon away. Pushed away and got back to his feet with 14 seconds to go. Oh, there's another kick by Leon. Butchering that leg of Nate. Then Nate says something to Leon. But that was all Leon that round, I think. Let me see. Sorry, I just went past a few people. Joseph says, as a Filipino Canadian, I agree that old Asian people have no filters. Laugh out loud. Man, it's Bert says, yeah, the accent was super tame. Man, I'm not even making fun of them. My parents have accents. Like, it's funny to me, like sometimes when they speak, not Not the fact that they have accents, but just some of the stuff they say, you know. And the thing I find real funny is the generation gap as well. Like there's like a generational and cultural gap, and they just don't give a fuck, dude. They just don't care. Like my dad says shit that, and he just doesn't care. He doesn't care. Like, and I sit there and I think, dude, how can you say that, dude? But the old Asian dudes, they take the fucking piss. We're off. They will straight out ask you, how much do you earn? How much does your wife earn? How much was your house? How much is your car? Oh my God, that was another heavy leg kick landed by Leon Edwards. He's very, very good, is Edwards. Nate Diaz walking away, then walks towards him. I think that this is another ploy by Nate as well to drag this out as much as he can. But the problem is that he's not really making Leon work, and Leon's dictating everything. So Leon can fight like this 10 rounds, I believe. So Nate has changed to orthodox, but so has Leon. And now both in the southpaw stance. And I believe that they swung and a miss from both guys. Check hook by Leon. He's marked up Nate's face. I can't see Nate taking more than 3 more kicks on that leg. And he's sitting down there, goes looking for that hook. They both exchange punches. I can't see him taking 3 more, honestly, without being severely, severely hobbled. His legs all banged up and welted up, and it's starting to lock out. Leon is so good, man. He's so savvy, and he knows how to pick his shots, and he's so calm. Nate's always like he's trying to hit Leon. Leon slides out of the way out of the way for Nate. Ooh, nice exchange there by both guys. Oh, there it is. That was a nice low kick landed by Leon. They're so heavy, these low kicks. Nate calling him in. They both connected there with shots. I'm looking for Leon to elbow on the break. He's pushed Nate down. He's pushed Nate up against the cage. Nice trip by Leon. Takes Nate to the ground. He's got an underhook on the correct side. Nate's very, very, very savvy on the ground. Leon obviously is very, very confident in his own jiu-jitsu. But see, the thing with the Diaz brothers in 5 round fights, they love it. They love the whole, like the longer and the messier it gets. And this grappling exchanges and everything only helps the fact that, yeah, he can just sit here and do this for as long as possible. He hasn't cleared the knee line yet, has Leon. Now he has. But Nate has used that almost as a sweep. Now he's trapping the leg of Leon. Leon was able to kick away, but it's showing you to be careful when you're on the ground with him. The only real big submission attempt there in the whole fight has been by Diaz. Oh, there it is. That was the second one. Now, the third one, he's not going to be able to take another kick by Leon on the leg. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get his leg out of the way in time. Bit of, like, he's trying to drag this out as much as he can, is Nate. Put his hands on his knees. Oh, left hand landed by Edwards. Diaz in all sorts of trouble though with that lead leg. All sorts of trouble. One more shot from Leon on that leg, and I don't know if Nate's going to be able to stand on it or even move on it very effectively. Oh. And then he's going to be open a bit to get hit. Oh, I don't know if that one landed flush or not, but it looked nasty. Nate has now pushed Leon up against the cage. He's establishing head position. Leon moves Nate off the cage. 7 seconds to go. Oh, spinning elbow by Edwards. And that's the round. I'm just going to get some water, guys. I'll be back. Ah, very nice little trip. Hassan Ahmed says, big up, Brum. Let's go, Leon. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to fast forward through a few. I'm going to skip a few. Beetlejuice says, no way. What's a Fair One podcast? What did I miss? We just changed the name, Beetlejuice. I've been saying to you I was going to change it. Those leg kicks, man, from Leon. I think Nate's leg is gone, man. Front kick by Nate to no avail. Those kicks have taken a lot of the zap out of Nate's punches as well. Yeah, now it's like minus 2,500 that Edwards is going to win. Oh, that leg would be mush, dude. I'm telling you, I don't even know how Nate can take it. Well, he can't. Yeah, so Nate now moving forward on Edwards is pretty smart and pretty good because it's harder for Leon to kick those legs when Nate's moving forward the way that he is. And he has to do that. If he's kind of moving backwards or staying in that range, then Edwards is just going to pick him off. Pushing Edwards up against the cage like this, making Edwards work is only going to benefit Nate. And Edwards does tend to slow down in the later rounds. But like this, it's only a matter of time. Edwards going to he's going to kick that leg again. And he's smart, Edwards, man. He picks it. Oh, Nate lifted it, but that would still crack, dude. That would still crack your legs. Especially how many times he's been kicked now. Edwards has pushed Nate up against the cage. He's got Nate's back now. Gets a takedown. Goes again to the ground. He's doing a good job, is Edwards, in the half guard. Here I'd like to see him pinch his left knee and right knee together just to avoid Nate being able to go under. But, you know, he knows what he's doing, so he knows why he's doing what he's doing. This is not a criticism at all. He's very, very good on the ground, is Leon as well. And this is a good putting people on notice as well in that division because he's showing that he's grappling with a very good grappler on the ground and getting the better of it. Now these elbows have cut Nate up, I think. I'm pretty sure they've cut Nate up, unless that's blood from an earlier fight. Nate's asking Leon to come into his guard. There's 2 minutes to go. The ref said something there. Oh, he's got a massive cut on his head, does Nate Diaz. Massive one. It's on the side of his head, but it's a huge cut. No, the ref said something then to Edwards, and Edwards kind of like let him up. It was 1 minute and 48 seconds to go. The ref stopped the fight for some reason. I think the cup was out of place. Nate has blood all over him. Leon goes to touch gloves with him. Nate hits his hand away, and I think they stuck their fingers up at each other. My God, there's so much blood from Nate. All over him. Like there's blood everywhere. There's blood like everywhere, all down his legs, all down his face, all on his chest. And what's the problem here for Nate as well is going to make it even harder for him to get any sort of submission on Leon with that much liquid everywhere. You know, blood and sweat now, it's everywhere. And any Vaseline that they're going to put on Nate is just going to go, it's just going to make things even harder. Now, for Leon, it's very, very easy for Leon to go to the ground now with Nate. Because Nate's not going to be able to finish any submission from me. He's just going to slide out of it. He's Leon. There is so much blood on Nate. And the rear nakeds, though, are the ones, is a choke that when people are slippery can help, it can actually help you to get the choke in. And right on cue, Leon starts going for it. Nate's head is a mess. Look for the elbow on the break from Leon at some point here. There's the elbow, spinning elbow. Oh my God. Nate's head is a bloody mess. And that's a bell. Oh my God. Mark Whelan says, do you think Rob would want Izzy or Marvin to win? Something tells me he would want to fight Izzy. He'd probably want to fight Izzy, I imagine. I don't know. Juice says, at Beetlejuice, I think it's the expression to have a fight, like, you know, have a fair one. But I don't know. I still think it has to do with Fab's light skin tone. It's my racist nature. It just keeps coming out, you know? It just keeps. I'm all about like white power and the Aryan race. That's why I called it the fair one. As my Scottish friend knows, I just don't discriminate with my racism. Jed Kerr says Diaz always getting split, but tough as they come. Yeah, man, very very tough guy. Now that's what I'm saying. Like the Vaseline and that they put to stop the cut, Vaseline and adrenaline and that's just going to make it even more slippery. The Vaseline, the blood, and the sweat, it's just going to make it look worse. Leon looks like he came out of a health spa. Great striking by Leon. Oh, that right kick to the body by Leon. So powerful. Little cheeky left hand landed by Nate Diaz. Oh, there's another big left kick by Edwards. Oh my God. Edwards stopping in the center, waiting for Nate to come back in the middle. It's good. Smart of Edwards not chasing him. Oh, big left hand lands by Edwards. Big left hand lands by Edwards. That was a huge left hand landed by Edwards right on Nate. Nate walking away. Edwards throws a kick. Nate finds a cage. Nice right hand landed by Edwards. Another left hand counter by Edwards. Nate talking. There's a fist bump there. Two minutes, 51 seconds to go. Nate has lost every second of this fight, I would say. Just about. left hand again lands by Edwards. Edwards' timing and distance management is very, very, very good. Another left kick lands by Edwards. Nate just walking along the periphery of the octagon. Oh, the exchange in close, but Leon hits him with a left hook. Ooh, there's that elbow on the break. He missed by a fair bit, but he did throw the elbow on the break. I don't think that Leon can get tired fighting like this. Somebody said that. I don't think he can because he's like, he hasn't really been pushed. Ooh, a right hand left landed by Nate. Then Nate goes looking for the body lock himself. 1:28 to go. Nate trying to walk Leon down. There's basically 6 minutes left in this fight. I don't see Leon slowing down enough for Nate to capitalize on it. And Nate is so hurt. So badly hurt. Right, left by Nate. Oh, there's that elbow on the break by Leon. Nice work. Nice exchange there. Leon's looking for that elbow again, coming over the top. Missed both times, missed by a fair bit. But Nate's in all sorts of trouble here, guys. He's in a lot of trouble. He's bleeding from everywhere. Nate hits Leon with a nice little left hand. Not a lot on it, though. And that's a round. So one more round to go. Mark Whelan says Leon has had it hard. His dad was shot and killed by cops when he was 13. What a great story. I mean, it's a great story where he is, that in itself, yeah. Dave Morris says, is Leon holding back? I feel he could finish this. Roy says, Leon isn't really a finisher. Leon kind of always fights like this, you know what I mean? He's very measured, man. He's very measured in his approach. He keeps hitting out. I'm really sorry to hear about Leon's dad. That's a really sad story. Stephen Morgan says, mate, I don't think you're wrong, Dave. It seems like he's coasting instead of chasing the finish. Like I said, he always fights like that, man. He's not thing, and that's just how he fights. Beetlejuice. Yeah, no, it's pretty full on, man. Like, Rick James says, yeah, I think I don't know. I can't hear the Rick James. I can't hear the commentary, but to me, there's not much happening here. Like I see, Edwards, like Nate is hanging in there, being super tough, surviving, trying to give different angles, trying to give different things to make Edwards to survive the Edwards onslaught. But Edwards is beating Nate up bad. That was another leg kick landed. And yet it is true. He's got amazing cardio because that would take it out of you so badly, getting beat up for half an hour like that for 25 minutes. But this has been all Edwards' show, in my opinion. And you can see it. And one guy's covered in blood, dude. Juice says, I think Leon thanks Nate in a sense because nobody was wanting to fight Leon. And honestly, to a casual fan, he was relatively unknown before this. Diaz is a needle mover. Yeah, but this is how Leon fights. Leon's trying to take his head off as much as Leon can, as much as Leon does. But Leon is very measured, kind of counter striker, and that's like, oh, you saw him big lefts, big elbows. Another inside leg kick, both from orthodox stance. Inside leg kick by Leon Edwards as he moves forward. Yeah, Leon's always been one of my favorite fighters, man. Like he's very, very good fighter. Very, very, very good tactical fighter. Ah, I see, Juice. I see. Three minutes to go. Nate lands a little left hand on Leon. Ooh, Nate's lands a left hand on Leon then. He landed a nice little left hand. Leon moving back to cage. Nate lands another left hand. 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go. Nate with a little bit of dirty boxing there. Nate looking for the takedown himself. 2 minutes and 42 seconds. But I have to think, I don't think that even if Nate were to get the takedown, he's going to have enough time to really do anything. And he hasn't really shown that he's a lot of a superior grappler than Leon. But he did land those couple of left hands on Leon. That was really impressive. Right kick by Leon to the body, taken in the arms by Nate. Another left kick taken in the arms by Nate. Nate is going to be so sore tomorrow. So sore. Leon's shins might be sore, but man, Nate is going to be sore. Good exchange there by both guys. 1 minute and 43 seconds to go. Oh, left hand over the top by Leon. Good combination. Right uppercut. Left uppercut followed by a left hook by Leon Edwards. And then he slides out of the way. He has busted Nate up so badly. His face is absolutely covered in blood. He's calling Leon forward. Leon throws that elbow on the break and again misses. Nate throws a left hand. Leon slips out of the way, gets out of the way. Ooh, big combination. He's rocked Leon, I think. I think he's rocked Leon. Left hand, right hand. Leon looks to be in a little bit of trouble here. Leon's in trouble. There's 50 seconds to go. Nate Diaz is coming on. Leon's getting out of the way. Leon a little bit of trouble. There's 40 seconds to go. Nate coming forward. Leon has to move. He has to move and get out of the way. He got hit with a jab, flush on the chin then. Leon puts his hands up. He has to get out of the way. There's 26 seconds to go. There's plenty of time for Nate to hit him with some more shots. Right hand over the top by Nate. Leon clinches. Nate has to break the clinch. Nate has to break the clinch. He has Leon hurt. He definitely has Leon hurt. He hits Leon with an elbow, then a little uppercut. Oh, my God. He's hitting Leon with some shots. There's 7 seconds to go. Leon clinches again. Nate's coming on. There's 3 seconds to go. There's not enough time for Nate. Time. That's the bell. And that is the win by Leon. 4 rounds to 1 for Leon Edwards. Fucking wow. Wow. And that's what I said to you as well. I said Leon fades. Leon does fade. That left hand landed flush. Leon's in La La Land with that left hand. That slap pushed his face like kind of into the left hand. Leon was in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. but definitely 4 rounds to 1. Even if you gave Nate, which I can't. I'm just saying even if you gave Nate a 10-8 round, Leon still wins this fight. Yeah. Let me see. David Morris, if Nate had thrown a follow up rather than a taunt and point his finger, I think he could have finished him. Maybe, but I think it was also in that moment that he realized he hurt him like that as well. And it looks like things happen different, in the real fight. But yeah, you're right. If he had just jumped on him there and then, for sure. Ophon says, I'm sorry, Fab, you're right, and I'm a dumbass. Checklist says, why couldn't Nate be like that from round one? This is the bad part of being a Nate fan. Because Edwards is like on and strong for the first 3.5 rounds, 4 rounds. So it's very hard for Nate to just come forward the way he did. He's eating a lot of shots, and Leon just smashed up his legs. The card's very good, Sonora. Yeah. He gave a good account of himself, did Nate. But yeah, Leon really bashed him. Really bashed him. Wow. George versus Leon and Kamaru versus Colby. Ooh, that would be cool, man. Isaac says, great commentary, brother. Thank you, sir. Yeah, McGregor versus Nate. McGregor versus Nate and Colby versus Usman. But see, to me, Leon should just fight the winner of that. He's done enough to win, to get the title shot. Although I'd like to see him against Masvidal, but I'd rather see him get the next shot. He's won enough fights, man, in a row. Yes. Leon will be a good matchup with Usman. Yeah, to a certain degree, I think he will, but yeah, he would. But I do see him fade, man. I do see him fade later in the rounds, And he faded in this one. But he's a fantastic fighter. He's probably my favorite fighter. Well, Jordan says Usman will eat Leon. Usman and Leon had a good fight. It was a decision win for Usman, but maybe. Let's see this fight. Jed Kerr says Colby deserves a rematch though too, Fab. No, that's what I'm saying. I think Colby should fight Usman and then give Leon the winner of those two. Rick James says, yeah, not sure he's ready for Usman or Colby even. I think Colby and Usman are very evenly matched. They're hard matches. Oh my God, Nate's head. It's just bleeding. My wife just sent me a message that my daughter was playing outside and she ran outside with a banana and she ran back in holding a banana in one hand and a piece of shit in the other hand. See, that's what I mean, man. These little germ bugs, I just don't get it. I just don't get how they're so disgusting. Man, I don't know. I don't know how. Man, Nate Diaz is such a tough guy. That was so bad, man. Like he took a massive beating. Gilbert Burns just commented, I think Leon just lost the title shot to Colby, just how the fight ended. That could be true. That could be true. Nate came on right at the end, but it wasn't enough. But Leon bashed him for 4 rounds. He bashed him. Ophon says, I still can't believe Nate wobbled Leon after taking such a bad whooping for so long. Me neither, man. There's Ortega. Sonora Camel says it's that California-sized chin he's got. Dude, what a chin. Rick James says, I don't know if Colby beats Usman, but it's the most competitive fight in the division. It's certainly the fight. It's certainly a fight to see. I'm interested in that fight. I'm just going to go. I'll be back in 1 second. I want to see if my daughter's killed someone or anything. Laced Up says, apparently Nate has never actually won a fight that has made it into the fourth round, which surprises me since everyone talks about his late rounds performance. There you go. James Hansen says his daughter actually just killed someone. Stephen Morgan says, holy shit, boys, we've still got 2 fights to go. Yeah, it's crazy, eh? Rick James says, Ophon, yeah, the first round versus Burns was crazy. Stephen Morgan, fuck me though, it's 5 a.m. Sorry, mate. Ophon says, laced up, maybe because his finishing ability isn't the best, but he puts it on other fighters and has freakish ability to take damage. 100%. River Trash says, I think the way it ended shows that Nate should stay down at 155. He's still solid. It just took too long for his cardio advantage to overcome Leon's size advantage. Pushback says, who won Leon versus Diaz? Leon bashed him, but Nate came on late in the fight. And Rick James says, what about the Connor fight? And Chuck Les says, it'll be interesting to see if Figueiredo was sick last time or these two are that closely matched. Don't forget that he lost the point last time. Figueiredo lost the point, and that ended in a draw. Thanks for asking. Appreciate the encouragement, but I got rejected into the friend zone, Fab. On to the next chapter. Thank you, the Fair One and the Fair One crew. Tell me where this girl lives. We will find her. We will make her feel very, very sorry for what she did to you. I'm sorry that it didn't work out, mate. I'm sorry that it didn't work out. Good luck, man. Good luck. On to the next one. Joaquin says, man, BJJ is great, ain't it? Yes, it is, sir. Pushback says, thank you. Mexi says, Riddell fight was great, showed incredible heart. Man, that was a crazy fight. Pushback says, I'm late, woke up, I bet on Leon. Good win. If Beetlejuice says, if you're the fair one, cannot be the fat one. Yeah, but that's not what the fair one refers to. And Rick James says, Fab, who have you got in the co-main? Man, I would like Brandon Moreno to win, but I think Figueiredo is going to do it. Stephen Morgan says exactly what I just said. Pushback says, I'm from Philippines. Chase says, hey, Fab, have you spoken to Rob? Why didn't he want to fight Izzy? Shouldn't Rob be in place of Vettori? I haven't spoken to him. I have no idea. I don't know what happened. Yeah. TX says, Diaz lost. Brutus says, thanks, Fab. Blaine says, Leon beat his ass pretty much. Pretty bad, man. Pretty bad. Joaquin says, Nate Diaz doesn't bleed blood. Blood bleeds Nate Diaz. That was so brutal, man. I'll be back in 1 second. I've got to fill up water. Brandon's on, mate. He's not. Look at him. He's angry at something. Mean little dude, man. And when I did the podcast with him and I was asking him, what does he think and feel when he's coming out like that? And he just says he can't remember it. He just kind of blanks out and this new, different person takes over. Fuck. So he's about to make his entrance. He's made his entrance. He's about to step into the octagon. Is Moreno. I am freezing here in this room. I am so fucking cold. Ofon says it's going to be sad when Holloway and Nate Diaz's chins give out like Tony's did. You know what the thing is? It's not sometimes your chin. It's not necessarily what gives out. Like it does give out. Like anything else, just gets old. But your ability to get out of the way of the shots, like you're not as fast getting out. You're not as fast rolling with a shot. You're not as fast anymore. You don't see the shots coming anymore. So you're taking the shots even more on the chin. Stephen Morgan says, mates, Brandon looks like he just snorted Lemma and he's going to fucking demolish Figgy. Looks like it. Beetlejuice says, Fab, are you still a trainer and assessor? I'm qualified as a trainer and assessor. I'm not really doing a lot of work as a trainer and assessor at the moment. Beetlejuice says, rephrase that. Do you still teach? Do I still teach at TAFE? No, not at the moment. I might, if to see what happens in this second semester coming up. I have had a few conversations. I might teach again. We'll see what happens. I'm just doing some corporate coaching at the moment and doing a little bit of project management and stuff, but that's all I'm doing at the moment. Ofon says, oh, true, not as fast for bracing for stuff. Yeah, Ofon, I forgot about the speed reaction factor. That's what happens with a lot of fighters. Like, they just kind of, I was talking to someone about this the other day. Like, you'll see a lot of fighters will just kind of fall off a cliff, and you don't realize, like, a lot of the fighters, like, their game for a lot of them was built on speed, on getting in and out, which is nothing wrong with that. Getting in and out, rolling with a punch, or seeing the shots coming, beating people to a punch. And when they slow down a fraction of an inch. They're not sliding out of the punches quite the same time that they were before, and they start getting caught, and they start to get caught slowly, more and more. Says, why does Fig look so pale? Is he okay? I don't know if he looks that pale. Where's that Scottish dude? Get him to answer that. X-White's the rename. Yes, we renamed it, sir. Hey guys, Figueiredo thinks he's Mission Impossible. Why do you say that? Figueiredo does look more pale, but I think everyone looks a little paler there. Must be the lighting, I think. Figueiredo getting Vaselined up, so on his eyebrows. Greg Fern says, some of my best friends are pale. Stephen Morgan, fuck, man, I think Fig looks fucking rough. I think he's going to gas out, mate. I don't know. He looks sickly. I don't know. I don't know. Figgy cried when he made weight and looked like he was almost dead. I was worried. Yeah, that's right, eh? He just made the weight, like with 40 seconds to go or something. Yeah, that can't feel good. Stephen Morgan says that weight cut looks to have fucking killed him. Man, it is so hard. Blaine Wilson says, anyone else totally love how he reads our comments? Thanks, man. You guys make the show, though. Yeah, dude, I saw that weight cut. That weight cut was brutal. Was fucking crazy. And I'm telling you something, from having cut weight, it does affect your cardio if it's a bad weight cut. And Mark Whelan says, if you had $1 for every time you get asked what's a name change and what does it mean, you would be rich. You guys will figure it out. Mech says, I love this channel for reactions. Rick James says, Fab, what are their Vaseline on their faces before the fight? So you don't get cut. So it helps to not get cut, especially with the gloves and that, like with the seam of the gloves and all of that. It just helps to slide off here and off here, off the top and the bottom of your eyes, particularly the top, and a little bit on your head and on your nose. It just helps to the shots to kind of slide off a little bit, so you don't get scratched and cut. Hey Fab, love this channel. Beetlejuice says, is there any fighters you know that don't cut weight and just fight at their walk around weight? Only one that I know of every time I've seen him, no matter what weight division, I always thought he was too small, is Edgar. Edgar was like a guy that was fighting at 155, and he's fighting later in his career, he's fighting at 135. Other than that, I don't know anyone like that. Even if he wins, Figgy will inevitably miss weight cut in his future fights. He should just move up. That is true. From Ofuko. Okay, sorry, I'm going to skip a few. Mekadi says Izzy walks around about his normal weight. He doesn't. He doesn't. You can see it in the weight cut. Like he's cut. He cuts weight. Grumia says, Fab, when you say you're not sure how us over in the UK and other less countries around us stay awake, these cards are the reason why it's easy. That's good. Yeah, man. Izzy's a fucking big dude, man. Like he's not. And I have seen him cut weight. Diabetic guy in the contender series can't cut weight. Can't cut any weight. I don't know his name. There you go. It'll be very, very few, man. It'll be very, very few. Yeah. If you think that he doesn't cut weight, dude, like you're honestly in another planet. He does cut weight. He's a massive dude for middleweight division. He's not a little guy. He's a big, tall, fucking strong guy. Chase says Figueiredo had a good run to the title. It was Moreno at the pack that put up the good fight. That's why we are here. Fight 2. All right, we're about to start, people. Sorry, I couldn't read some of the comments. I couldn't. It was they touched gloves. All right. We're about to start, people. Go. And double up on the jab is Moreno. Moreno goes a jab to the body. Deiveson standing tall. Let's see how much that weight cut affected Figueiredo. Nice inside kick by Moreno. I believe Moreno's looking good with little jabs, pouring with the jabs, and then he throws a nice jab down the middle. So he's fainting, pouring with the jabs, and he throws a jab. Throws a kick to Figgy, takes it on the leg, does Figgy. Combinations by Moreno. Figgy hasn't actually offered any output of his own at this stage. He has not offered any output. And we've been a minute into the fight. It's all been Moreno at this stage. Granted, nothing has landed by Moreno himself, but nice jab lands by Moreno. It's going to be very hard for Figgy to get into some sort of rhythm. He's just taking punishment from Moreno. It goes looking for a knee down the middle, does Figueiredo. Moreno rips to the body and goes, this pace that he's setting, and left hand by Figgy. Dude, people said it before, and I agree with you. Figgy does not look himself today. He does not look himself at all. He's offered. Little left hand lands by Moreno. Really interesting. There's been no real output by Figgy at all. I don't know if that's to conserve himself to last into the second, third, fourth, and fifth rounds. I don't know. But it's been all Moreno in this round. Figueiredo does not look himself. The weight cut may have just destroyed him, man. Nice elbow down the middle by Figueiredo. 2 minutes to go in this first round. Left uppercut, right hand from Moreno. Jab from Moreno. Right kick by Figueiredo. Figueiredo switches to southpaw stance. He looks bad in there. He's looking for a hook kick. All to no avail. Rips the body. He's dropped! Moreno has dropped Figueiredo. Moreno has dropped him with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. He may have slipped, but it looked like a drop to me. He may have slipped. He's breathing hard, is Figueiredo. Moreno's framing very well with his left arm. He's got the correct underhook, does Moreno. Figueiredo has his shields up, though, and he's creating a little bit of space. So he has a wherewithal to put up the correct defense. He's got his hooks in. Moreno tried to pass, but Figueiredo's put both butterflies in. He's elevated Moreno. Moreno's showing off great balance. Is Figueiredo going to be able to stand up? He does. He stands up with the whizzer. He goes looking for the front headlock. He pushes Moreno up against the cage and he gets up. Figueiredo looks like he looks green, dude. He doesn't even look pale. He looks kind of green at times. That left kick to the body would not have helped Figueiredo if he's not feeling well. And that's the round. Wow. Sonora says, Deiveson looked super fatigued at the weigh-ins. Yeah, man. Mech says, I feel like the UFC is losing money by allowing weight cuts. The fighters would be more durable and energetic if they didn't cut. If no one could cut, there wouldn't be an advantage. But people would still cut, dude. They'd cut on the day. They'd do whatever they can. Like everyone's always looking for a way to get an advantage. Yeah, he just looks very, very different. Very, very, very different. Yeah, and he looks like his face looks shot in when he's in the corner. Like he's got like bags under his eyes. He does. He looks sick, man. He does not look well. Igor says coffee and Grange TV early in the morning, pure win. Thank you, sir. We have changed the name of the podcast though. Mark Whelan says that was a jab that dropped him. What the hell did that just happen? Rick James says strange adjustment by Figgy. I don't understand it. Rick James says, I need a coffee, bro. Stephen Morgan says, was round one a 10-8, do you think? I don't know if it was yeah, I'd give it a 10-8, especially since he dropped him. Figueiredo, man. Oh, the exchanges in the middle there. He's in deep ears. Figueiredo takes Moreno down. Moreno elevates him slightly. He still has a butterflies in, does Moreno. Figgy looking to pass, gets to half guard. I wonder how much Figgy has on him, man. Like, has in him, rather. Figgy looking to have some sort of. He has a. He's maybe looking for. I think he's just trying to hold him on here and just hurt the body a little bit. And look for him trying to start to sprawl his legs out and start to try and pass his guard, I believe. Nice big elbow landed by Figueiredo. Another big elbow landed by Figueiredo. 3 minutes and 59 seconds to go. Another big elbow landed. They're not pleasant, by the way. TJC, would you rather fight a small guy who can really fight or a big guy that can kind of fight? It depends how much bigger, like, than me, the big guy that can kind of fight is. He's not going to finish his guillotine. No way in the world. And I don't know how much gas he has left. There's a mosquito in here. I don't know how much gas he has if he commits to this. He can just hold him down and keep elbowing the body, and hopefully the refs give him, the ref lets him keep doing it, and the judges give him this round. That's I think one of the best things that Figueiredo can hope for. He's looking for that guillotine. There's no way he's going to get that guillotine. Avramon says Jamal's Hill's arm isn't broken. It was just badly dislocated. Dana White just told the team. I will tell you this: badly dislocated and not broken might mean that the bone isn't broken, but everything in that fucking arm is torn to shreds. So that was pretty bad, man. Figgy looks terrible. Terrible, man. Moreno has taken him down, dragged him down to the ground. He's taken his back, sunk the hooks in. He hasn't got the far hook. Moreno Figueiredo did a good job. That's what a lot of people don't do. He did a very good job of going to his back and facing Moreno. But now he's not doing a good job of getting back to his feet. But he's breathing so hard. He's got his foot on the hips, which is smart. That's what he needs to do. Nice little elbow landed by Figueiredo from the bottom. Little hammer fists by Moreno. I can't see Figueiredo winning this fight, man. I don't even see him necessarily surviving this fight. Jordan Fadness says, "Are you allowed to knee opponents in the butthole?" I don't think it's there's a rule against it. I don't think there's a rule against it. Mark Whelan says, "I hope he ain't got COVID. Imagine that the whole UFC would be shut down for the near future." Avramont says, "Yeah, you're right. I don't know who's right." Avramont. Oh yes, yeah. I don't know. Like just because it's not broken, it could be even worse damage. Like yeah, you can lose your arm and not to break it. Figueiredo kicked him off. Figueiredo rolls and Moreno lands some good ground and pound and holds him down. These scrambles are not helping Figueiredo. Figueiredo looks like he should be in bed with some chicken soup and a nice warm blanket because he is not in a good place. Sage says, Fab, we all love you. I hope you know that. Likewise, mate, the feeling is very, very mutual. I can assure you of that. 33 seconds to go in the second round, and it's all Moreno thus far. Big elbows from the bottom from Figueiredo. Nice little elbow to the liver from Moreno. This is not helping the Figueiredo cause, I can assure you. TJC says, I wish Mighty Mouse was still here against this competition. Shows how good Mighty Mouse was too, in that division. Absolute monster. And to do it for so long as well. Moreno's still looking, it looks like he's breathing hard, which of course he was just fighting. But Deiveson looks sick, dude. His eyes, like he's got bags under his eyes. He looks like me when I've had like my daughter doesn't let me sleep for like 2 days straight or something. Oh, he definitely had a terrible weight cut, man. He made weight in the last 40 seconds. So that wouldn't have been good. He grabbed onto the cage, but Moreno still took him down. Rick James says, seriously, why is this fight so one-sided? I think Figueiredo, like people pointed out before as well on the podcast, I think Figueiredo had a terrible weight cut, and he's looks like he's sick, man. He looks like he hasn't slept in a week. His power and his timing and everything about it is off. And yeah, Moreno came to play, man. Yeah, like Mark Whelan says, not so sure about that Asian man who told you you're having a boy next. Moreno came to play, so happy for him. Yeah, Moreno, like that's one thing is Figueiredo's problem, and then Moreno said, like, man, that's you. I'm gonna beat you up. TJC says, he looks like me now. Been up since dawn and gonna wake up to watch England versus Croatia. Oh my god. I don't know how you guys do that. I don't think this fight's gonna go the distance, man. Oh, spinning back kick by Figueiredo. First Australian says, just rewatch the replay of the knockdown. Something obviously wrong with Figgy. Moreno barely touched him. Grumia says, if Mighty Mouse came back to the UFC and dominated again, does that mean the talent in one is better, or does it highlight how skewed the weight cut policy is? I think that there are good fighters outside of the UFC, though. That's the other thing that you have to remember. Oh, nice takedown by Moreno. Figgy tries to get to his feet. Moreno takes his back, sinks both hooks in, gets a body triangle, and starts. This would be, dude, if you're gassed, this would feel terrible. Terrible, man. And he's putting the choke on. He's putting the choke in. This would be gas. This would really, really be affecting Figueiredo. Moreno's in deep, man. This would just be taking the air and the gas out of Figgy. Figgy looks terrible, man. Anthony Holloway says, you changed the name of your channel. I didn't even know it was your channel. Well, we're here. Yeah, man. Figgy's in all sorts of trouble. How do I say terrible? I don't know. Mark Whelan says, I don't know that when someone puts their body under so much stress, your immune system goes into overdrive and you can get sick real easy. Yeah, man. The weight cuts are brutal, man. That's it. That's done. Moreno won the fight. He's the champion. Moreno won the fight. He's a champion. It was a little bit not Moreno's fault. Good for Moreno. But Figueiredo did not put up. You're right, Stephen Morgan. He looked sick, man. He won the title, man. Good on him. He's overwhelmed, and he won it. I feel sorry for Figgy. Like I do feel sorry for him, but I'm really happy for Moreno. I'm really happy for him. Wow. It just didn't look like Figgy was ever going to be in the fight. Just did not look like he was in the fight. Laced Up says, where did the idea for the new name for the channel come, mate? I also didn't realize you were doing a fight companion until the last rounds of the Edwards Diaz fight. Why did we change the name? I said it already. I've probably said it about 20 times today, but we'd been hacked into. So we'd already started looking at changing the name. And I've been telling people on the show that I was going to change the name. And I told them I was going to change it by today. But yeah, so we'd already had a lot of stuff ready to go, and then it just got to like, but then we were able to get our channel back, which was great, and then we changed the name anyways. Aussie born Kiwi, thank you, sir, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Stephen Morgan says, Fab, did you think he had something such as staph or something similar? No, I think I mean, he might have had a staph or something that maybe made it hard for him to cut the weight, but it was pretty obvious that he was fucked, you know? It was pretty obvious that he was fucked. Like, people were saying it on here as well. Good on him, man. Good on Moreno. He'll blow up massive, dude. Massive, massive, massive. Massive. Sludge says Moreno came to play. Please don't take whatever happened to Fig. You can't take away from the man. He came to fight and beat down Fig. Let's celebrate it. 1000%, dude. 1000%. I'm happy for Moreno. But there is a thing where, like, from the get go, you could see that Moreno was going to win the fight. You know what I mean? So I think it took a little bit of that away. Joseph says, Coach, do you think there's going to be an immediate rematch? I don't think so, because it looks to me like I'm surprised Figgy has the energy and the strength to do that. I don't think so, because it looks to me like he can't make the weight. Laced Up says, awesome, man. I like it. I did hear you say you were changing it during the Logan Paul Mayweather fight, but I must have missed you saying when you would change it. Yeah, no, we're changing it. It's changed, you know. Aussie born Kiwi. Dana is going to be happy with the whole of Mexico is going to jump on board. Yes, they are, sir. Yes, they are. I missed it. Did he knock Figgy out? No, he choked him out. Figgy being a fucking gentleman about it, I like and respect him so much after the fact. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, it's pretty brutal, man. He's crying, he's happy, he's sad, he's all of it. Good for Figueiredo, man. Good for Figueiredo. I'll be back in 1 second. I mean, for Figueiredo. Good for Moreno. Good for Moreno. Yeah, he does have a big swollen eyes, Stephen Morgan. David Morris says, when I was growing up in New York, if two guys are going to fight one-on-one, we'd say they're going to shoot the fair one. Didn't realize that was Aussie slang as well. It's not Aussie slang. It's not, but I thought it'd be something interesting to say. Blaine Wilson out of nowhere throwing bombs, trying to end the fight. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. All I got to say is Champ better come back to the show for another interview. I'd like it. Mexico equals money. Do you think Dana will have to pay off the cartels to take the UFC back to Mexico? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Sage says Fab's ripped. Look at him. Fab's not ripped. Fab's Soft, mate. David Morris, what does that mean to shoot the fair one? Explain it, please, David Morris, what that means. Sage 1000%. Look at his hippie rock salt lamp. You just know he's ripping cones. I'm not, man. I can't even handle it. I explained yesterday how bad I am. I had a cookie once, had half a cookie not that long ago, almost died. So look, Colombian flags, all Latin American guys. Very happy. Stephen Morgan says, fuck boys, main event now should be grand though. Easy third round KO. I'm calling it. I think it's gonna be, yeah, let's see what happens in this fight. I think Izzy wins it too. I believe Izzy wins it, but I could be wrong. Figueiredo looks bad, dude. I don't know what he's saying. If anyone wants to share what he's saying, but yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, man, that was brutal. TJ's okay. Ah, Mark Whelan says, I think they mean you ripped off the choof, not your body. You tripper. Oh, I was appreciating the compliment. I thought, what an eye these people have to see through my jacket. But yeah, I don't know. Like, thank you, I suppose. Aussie born Kiwi, has Marvin ever done a 5 rounder? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see this fight. I'm actually really looking forward to this fight. I feel sorry for Figgy, man. He just Moreno is super happy. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who anyone is, man. Israel moving around very nicely in the back. And Vettori is super fucking intense. I love this guy. He's such a funny guy. Oh, Michael Caine, Fab versus the Cookie, and the Cookie won. 1000% the Cookie won. Does Figs get the rubber match if Triple C decides to come back? Well, I don't know. Chuck Lee says it must be hard to focus a body to be healthy for a fight. I, I can work when sick, but fighting when crook, bugger that. Um, I think the big thing with that, and I'm not talking about Figgy because I don't know him, I don't know anything, but I think a big thing is like what do people do when you're when you're not fighting, because there's like say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks of preparation. But if your body's coming in like fucked already, like if you have to make a cut to, I don't know, I'm going to say 170, right? You have to cut to 170. And I've seen this, right? So I'm not, if you have to cut to 170 and you're walking around at 205, 206, something like that, and you have to cut down to 185, you're going to spend most of your time just cutting weight. You know what I mean? You're not, and your immune system, your body, everything is going to take its toll. So yeah, it's not it's what you do the rest of the time as well. You know what I mean? It's not just a simple, when you make weight or you don't make weight and how that affects your immune system, all of that. Yeah, but it's what you do the rest of the time as well. Kenahuna says beautiful adjustment for Moreno to get a body triangle when he got back mount. Yeah, and especially being that Figgy wasn't breathing properly, was already gassed. That body triangle would just take all the life out of you. Okay, some people are saying Okay, so we have Hanoi Trooper saying, let's hope Vettori doesn't freeze like Costa. Chrisman says, let's go Marvin Vettori. And Sludge says, calling it now, upset with Vettori beating Adesanya. I think that Vettori is a bit different to Costa, and he's got a few more tools in his belt than Costa does. So I think that'll be a little bit different. That isn't to say that Adesanya won't win. I do think Adesanya will win, just because I think that, like I've said it earlier in the show, um, for him to win, too many things, not too many things, a lot of things have to happen in order for Vettori to win. That's what I think. I think Israel can just go out there and beat Israel, and he'll probably win. Can Vettori double up on his jab, throw volume, push Israel back, and then throw the kicks to the legs and to the body, and throw the takedowns in there and throw punches and combinations, and maybe clip Israel in those exchanges, or take Israel down? Maybe. Israel's very, very good at moving back and changing angles as he moves backwards, which makes it very, very hard to get the read on him. And I think that's going to be really hard for Vettori. I thought in the second round, Moreno should have got out of Benny's guard, but that's just my take. Is there a benefit to play his guard? Um, when he was when who was in whose guard? What do you mean? Never trust an elf says, isn't Figgy a BJJ black belt? Yeah, but his jiu-jitsu didn't look bad. He just looked gassed. Coach, thoughts on McGregor versus Dustin? I think that fight, I don't know, man. I think that fight's 50-50 with those two guys. What time's the main event now? The main event should be starting anytime now. First Australian says Costa didn't freeze. Izzy was just showing him reads that Costa nervous to engage. Therefore, Costa didn't fight like the normal Costa. 1000% agreed, First Australian. Izzy was giving him different looks, and he's skipping to the side and throwing fucking massive calf kicks that landed. And so you got to give one, Israel the credit, and two, not shit on Costa too bad, because he wasn't like he froze or didn't think. Like, Israel did a fantastic job. Moreno was laying on top of Figgy getting cut from his elbows. Um, yeah, but when you're on top, man, you're the one that's going to be able to land more shots. Like, Figgy wasn't doing anything that was going to stop the fight in that at that point. Ambush says, soy el único que no entiende inglés. Ja, ja, ja. That's Ambush. Bueno, muchas gracias por estar acá con nosotros y para mirar esto y estar aquí. Bueno, y no sé de dónde sos. ¿De dónde sos? ¿Sos mexicano o de dónde sos? Ambush. Escribí en español y yo te hablo en español. So I'm just talking to Ambush. I'm just saying to him, thank you for being here. And I'm just asking where in Latin America is he from? Any possibility that Vettori takes him down just because he's bigger, or does he just do what he's best at? I don't think Vettori is that much bigger. Like, they have to fight at 185. So Vettori might be a couple of kilos bigger, but not enough that he's just going to like manhandle him like that. He still showed up but abandoned his game plan. Are you talking about Costa? Yeah, I think I agree with you, First Australian, though. Initially, I don't even know that he abandoned his game plan, or rather that he just couldn't execute it, and he had nothing else that he was going to do. But I don't know what Costa was going to do other than come forward and try and exchange. Lucas Gripper says, I'm not scared of these little guys, but I still would hold their pocket for street cred. Joe Schmo says, legend Fab. Thank you, sir. Sir Ambush says, soy de Nicaragua esperando la pelea de Adesanya. He's from Nicaragua and he's waiting for the Adesanya fight. Bueno, ahora mismo van a pelear. Cecilia Da Rocha says, I'm surprised you use sos instead of tú to speak Spanish. I don't know, mate. Maybe I wasn't brought up properly. Stephen Morgan, Vettori came into the cage against Holland at about 210, I believe. Never trust an elf. That BJJ was high level, but nobody talks about that. It definitely was. It's going to be interesting. They sticking their fingers up at each other. Good elbows from Adesanya. he's got a lot of good kicks and shots, without much tell from Adesanya. Man, he hurt Gastelum bad in that fight. Mark Whelan says, who knows who's going to win out of them two? But if Connor can have a good camp and push himself, I think he could win. However, Dustin's confidence is sky high. Yes, sir. Ambush says, ok, no sabía que existía tu canal, pero ya me suscribí. Espero transmitir las peleas. Las peleas no las puedo mostrar. Yo puedo hablar solo de las peleas. Y hablo en inglés. Pero te hablo a vos en español. He's just saying that he's just joined the channel and subscribed. Muchas gracias. Joseph says, I hope Vettori has a successful takedown. Let's see. Moist Penguin says, please don't put stuff like that, man. Michael Caine says, could be a classic. Hope so. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Diego Lopez Subida says, ¿eres peruano? Damn good Spanish, Aussie. Thank you, mate. No, I'm not Peruvian. My mum and dad are from Uruguay. I speak Spanish to my mum and dad, and I speak Spanish to my grandmothers who have since passed away. But that's the only people I really speak Spanish to. But say today, for example, I'm going to have dinner with my parents and my family and that, and like I just speak in Spanish to them. I speak to my daughter in Spanish as well. She understands Spanish, so if I say anything to her, like if I say to her, "Go get my glasses" or something in Spanish, she'll go get them. In like or whatever. Like my mom and my dad speak to my daughter in Spanish, and then on my wife's side, her grandmother, my wife's mother speaks to my daughter in Chinese. Your daughter going to speak Spanish? I don't know. She understands Spanish. She definitely understands Spanish. And she says a few words here and there, but she's still gibberish speaking in both languages. But she also understands Chinese as well. Mr. Green says, I think Izzy will get this done early. He might. Moist Penguin says, I hope Marvin gets at least one takedown so we can see Israel's wrestling ground level at this point in his career because it didn't look champ level last fight. Israel's good, but man, he's smart with how he does stuff. He hasn't been out grappled either. Cecilia De Rocha says, "Oh, that's why you sound like an Argentine when you speak Spanish." Yeah, my mom and dad are from Uruguay. Rick James says, "I want Izzy to win, but only so Rob can knock him out." Ewan Ferguson says, "Let's go, Mordor Marvin." Roy C says, "I think Vittoria has some underrated chain grappling that'll win him rounds, but I'm not sure he has 3+ rounds of it against Izzy." That is very true. That is very true. It's hard to grapple someone like that, and yeah, he's I don't know. It's a hard fight, man. Wilson says, "Does angry Marvin look pissed off enough yet?" Cody, I don't know who you're talking to, mate. Sir Lancelot says, "Is it just me or does Vettori look nervous?" Rick James says, "Fab, do you speak Chinese with the wife?" Nah, I can't speak Chinese. It's terrible. If I try and say anything, like my wife will say, "Oh, my mum said to me, blah, 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 and whatever in Chinese," and that means whatever it means. I can't translate it. And then I'll say, "Oh," and I'll say whatever she said, and she just laughs. Yeah, like who are you talking to, Cody? Why don't you just jump off the channel, man? Like, okay, Smart Money says Adesanya, but the heart. Okay, Mandarin. Juice says Izzy's wrestling is underrated. Casuals look at his fight with Yan and jump to the conclusion that he can't wrestle. It's silly. No, I fully agree with that. Like the guy, he can wrestle. He knows what he's doing, and not only can he wrestle, the length that he has, and he's able to frame and move, and he's able to pivot and move out of the way, and he's able to change angles moving backwards, makes it really hard for him to take down. He's also pretty clever when he gets taken down and he's on his back. He pushes that arm in because he's got long legs, and he throws a triangle. And if you get out of the triangle, he rolls out onto his knees and back onto his feet. But I was going to say to you, The other thing is Vettori has fought him already. So he's got a good understanding of Adesanya's reach. He's got a good understanding of what Adesanya can do. Adesanya, I think it's Raiden that he's walking out as, I think. Um, or he's being extremely racist towards me and my culture. Um, but he's already got an understanding of that. And he fought Gastelum and they train like Gastelum and Vettori train together. But I still think that Israel wins this fight. Okay, so Imagination Project says, when was the name of this channel changed? Today. It was changed today. But we were going to change it. We were talking about it before. Diego Lopez says he's going to try and play it like Gastelum did, but Izzy will outclass him in the end. Oh no, a 40-kilogram mask, it will gas him in 20 meters, says Ewan Ferguson. Let's see this fight, man. I better just place $10,000 on Adesanya to beat Marvin Vettori. The payout 13.6. Interesting. Image Nation says, I was wondering if I accidentally subbed to someone. Defo staying subbed. Thank you, sir. Who came up with a new name? I did, my friend. I did. Hanoi Tripper says, that's right. I couldn't find Grange TV for the fights earlier. Kadir Yilmaz says, what is he doing again? His antics cringe me so bad, says Kadir Yilmaz. I'll be back. Roy C says, the thing about Chinese is that it's so tonal. Slight mispronunciation can flip the meaning. There are a disproportionately high number of native Chinese speakers with pitch perfect hearing. Man, it's crazy how hard it is to learn it. 80-inch reach versus 74-inch reach. That's big, man. Is he 6'4"? Yeah. It's Diego Lopez says, what do you think about Izzy's gyno? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see what happens here, people. Mark Whelan says, how does that shot glass refill itself when you come back in? What do you mean? Jed Kerr says, don't get rid of your Grange. This sign, my G. I actually did, man. One of the boys, Joseph, on here, he asked me for it. I'm giving it to him. Israel's shaking his head, unimpressed. I'm glad. I, honestly, I don't understand. Like Marvin is such a character, you know. I see an early stoppage. Vettori was very reactionary to Izzy, and he was very emotional at the press conference. In fairness, it could be a plus 20 underdog, plus 220 underdog for Vettori. It could be an early stoppage, but Vettori, in fairness, is always emotional. Something, anything. Yeah, there will be a clock going. But I do think, like, man, it would be hard to be that charged all the time. Thank you, sir. I'm out as soon as the fight over. So here's what I can give for the channel. Keep it going. We're all here for it. Man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it so much. You're a champion, man. I really, really appreciate it. Joke about you necking down whiskey in the breaks. Man, if I drank whiskey in between the breaks, I'd be like this. I don't drink anything at all. Can't even have coffee. So we'll see what happens here, people. He's a big human, Israel. When you see him in real life, he's a big fucking guy, dude. He's a big dude, tall, broad, like he's fucking big guy, like very muscular legs. Marvin's not happy. Neither is Israel. No glove touch. No glove touch, people. We are about to be off. Yeah, Chuck Les says Vittorian is Italian. They're always emotional. Everyone I've known, anyways. We're off. They both come charging into the center of the octagon. Israel in the orthodox stand, throwing feints with his legs, and Vettori in the southpaw stance. Vettori pouring with a jab. Israel already going to the legs. Vettori looked like he's doubling up on their jab, which is what he needs to do. Front kick by Israel. Very nice work. Israel looking very good. Skips outside and throws that kick to the legs. Love that work by Israel. Another low kick by Israel lands to the legs of Vettori. Vettori trying to cut him off, but Israel's movement is so good. So Israel changes angles and moves back at the same time. It's very, 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 very good. Very nice the way he skipped out of that way, Israel. But Vettori is also moving him back and throwing these little jabs and moving him backwards. Israel feints with the kicks. He's very long. When he puts his arms out and steps back, he's very, very long. Hard to get a read on it. He's chewing up that lead leg of Vettori, but Vettori's starting to kick with Israel too. So that's a very important thing. So he's not giving up that space. This is the first round of the fight. Ooh, right kick to the body by Israel. Israel shows very little tell in his kicks, and there's the takedown by Vettori. He catches the kick, takes Israel down. Israel's got an open guard. He's going to be looking to put his feet on the hips of Vettori. Nice work by Vettori. Found that timing quite well. Israel's doing a good job as well of moving, but Vettori's doing a good job of nullifying Israel getting back to his feet. He's looking for that pass, is Vettori. Israel trying to push off the cage. Now, if Vettori can start to slow him down, and it's risky as well, reaching for kicks, dude. I'm telling you now, like people go, oh, look what he done. It could have worked out bad for Vettori as well. There's that. See us telling you about the triangle armbar thing that Israel does to get back to his feet. That's what he does. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Vettori's got the double underhooks and he's got Israel up against the cage. He looks for the body lock to take Israel down. Israel's very strong. He's very long. It's very hard to get that takedown on him. Vettori, ooh, big elbow by Israel as he defends it. Israel moves off. Very, very risky to catch those kicks, man. Very risky. Israel in the southpaw stance as well. Both guys in southpaw. Israel's going to be looking for that low kick again. I think he can throw with relative impunity because he was able to defend quite well and get back to his feet. He likes to throw that like that triangle and get up. Oh! Marvin ducked and Israel almost threw a high kick. Marvin goes looking for a straight left. He can't throw one shots. He has to throw combinations to keep Israel moving backwards and to not give the reads to Israel. Again, Israel lands a kick to the legs. And they take their toll, man, those kicks. They do take their tolls. Now Marvin biting on the feints of Israel, but he moves Israel backwards. They exchange punches. Israel goes looking for a little uppercut. Israel moves his head. Good head movement by Israel and a counter by Israel. Nothing lands from either boy. Ooh, nice kick by Israel. Nice little kick by Israel. Ooh, left hand over the top by Marvin. We got 1 minute and 18 seconds to go in this first round. Israel throws a combination, lands another leg kick on Marvin. Israel feinting with these kicks, man. It's very, very nice the way he does that. Big high kick by Israel, taken on the forearms by Marvin. Nice punch to the body by Marvin. Israel goes looking for a low kick. Hits it again with the left. Oh, nice little uppercut landed by Israel. Nice combination. He finishes with a left high kick. None of which land except for the little uppercut. Nice kick to the legs by Vettori. Vettori swinging a miss with the left hand. 27 seconds to go. Israel feinting. Nice body kick by Marvin. Nice leg kick by Marvin, rather. He has to kick with Israel. He can't give Israel allow Israel to keep kicking with no returns from Marvin. Israel, big swing and a miss on that leg kick. Marvin moved his legs out of the way. Ooh, nice little uppercut landed by Israel. That's the round. Mark Whelan says, punches in bunches, the only way to get Izzy on the back foot, and Marvin's best chance of putting Izzy on the back foot. Joseph says 10-9 Vettori. I think, I don't know who won that round. Because whilst Marvin took Israel down, the only real damage that I saw done then was Israel's leg kicks. So it depends how people want to score that. And yeah, I do agree that Israel's starting to get the reach, like the rhythm. Catching a low kick like that is fucking scary from someone like Israel. TJC, it's extremely exhausting defending feints. Extremely, extremely exhausting defending feints. It tires your neural system down. Then you start reacting slower throughout the fight. Marvin does have one thing, is that even though he's built like a brick shithouse, he's got very, very good cardio. Those leg kicks of Israel's dig into your legs, man. They really dig. Oh, another big leg kick landed by Israel. Israel moving well, really, really well. Oh, left high kick by Israel. Then he goes looking for the body. Israel gets hit with a little jab. Israel gets hit again with the jab. But man, he doesn't look like his hands are so big, dude. Like he's got big hands, does Israel. Marvin kicks but misses. Inside kick. Inside kick by Israel. Thing is, there's no tell on what he throws. You can't tell what he's going to throw, if he's going to be a kick or a punch or what. Oh. Another nice kick landed by Israel. Israel looking to spin out of the way and land the right hand on Marvin in a kind of check hook situation. He's landing that left kick almost at will on Marvin. Marvin shoots a double now. He's in deep. His hands are clasped behind Israel's bottom. He's looking to take him down, but Israel's got his feet wedged on the edges of the mat, and he's landing little elbows on Marvin. I don't know that Marvin's going to be able to get this takedown on Israel. Israel's takedown defense is very good. Marvin looks for it. He's looking. He might get this. Did a good job there, Marvin did, and then Israel framed and got out of the way. Very good job by Israel. And good job by Marvin as well. Marvin swinging that left hand. He's missing. He's got to keep the volume going. Israel's timing is so good and his movement is so good. Right high kick by Israel, taken on the arms by Marvin. What a fight, man. What a fight. Israel standing just outside of the reach of Marvin. The problem is when you're just outside of the reach, when Israel's just outside of your reach, you're still in his reach. And that he starts to touch you. Nice low kick by Israel. Nice combination there. Marvin doing a good job of moving him back, but Israel's got shots from all different types of tells, from no tells, really. But Marvin's finding that jab, finding a little home for the jab as he moves Israel backwards. Oh, that left kick landed so flush by Israel. That was such a good way that he did that too. Set that trap up. So he showed the right kick and then he landed that left kick to the legs so flush. 1 minute, 19 seconds to go. Israel got hit again by another little jab. Again. And then Marvin again goes looking for the double leg. He's in deep. See, Israel's so long, he can defend the doubles just by spreading his legs out like that. He has very, very good balance as well and super strong. 49 seconds into this fight. But Marvin has shown that he can get inside, and this is something that might start to frustrate Israel as the fight progresses, I definitely think Israel's winning this fight. There's no two ways about it. But Marvin's staying in there, he's making a fight out of it. Israel goes looking for a high kick, and then that exposes the left low kick to Marvin's leg. Now Marvin biting on the feint a little bit more as Israel starts to take up the center of the octagon. Israel in the center of the octagon, it can be very, very dangerous because he's got all the movement in the world. When you start to push him up against the cage, you're kind of limiting where he can move to. Oh, these exchanges, time. That's time. That's the second round. I give both rounds to Israel. But I'm also seeing Marvin, whilst he's getting banged up on the legs, his cardio looks pretty good, man. He still looks like he's coming. He's not going for broke on the takedowns or doing anything stupid. So it's interesting. What was it about Gastelum that made it such a tough fight? Just is his first big fight, or did Kelvin do something different? TJC. It's a fight, though, guys. That's what you got to understand. Like sometimes it's not like, oh, you did something amazing. Gastelum, you got to remember, dropped Israel in that first round, and that changes things as well. That also puts things differently because then, okay, Israel could have been losing that round, and then makes Israel fight differently, and you felt that power. Okay. Fight's progressing into the third round. They're exchanging shots. When they exchange shots like that, you're like, oh, Marvin shoots in for a double deep. He's got this double now. Israel's still being held up by his hand. Marvin gets the takedown. Marvin goes to the takedown. He's in half guard now, and he's got the chin position. So he's got the better position here. He's got his right shoulder on Israel's chin, and he's got the underhook. And he's passing to what would generally be for most people the weak side. So if I were Marvin, I'd say to him to hold here as long as he possibly can. because most people don't pass the side that Marvin's passing now. So it's hard to even well-versed jiu-jitsu guys, you don't get exposed to that side as much as you do the other side. So this was very nicely done by Marvin. How much he can take out of Israel here is going to be very interesting as well. Marvin going body, head, landing the shots. It's 3:52 to go in this third round. Oh, Israel almost flipped it. Marvin has taken his back. He's taken Israel's back. He's got one arm in. It's in pretty deep. Israel's turn. Israel's on top. Well done by Israel. Israel trying to land the shots on Marvin. This is going to be interesting. Israel trying to land the ground and pound, but Marvin's got good wrist control. That was close, man. That was nice and close. Marvin puts his feet on Israel's hips. Israel goes looking for a right hand. Marvin goes looking for a leg lock on Israel. Israel hasn't cleared the knee line. Now he has. Has he cleared the knee line? No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. Marvin gets up. Good exchange. Good exchange. I think there was an eye poke there. I think there was an eye poke there. Smart of Marvin. Fucking hell. Oh. Okay. They're off. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Oh, right uppercut by Israel. Nice shot. Then he gets hit by a jab himself. Oh, there's that low kick by Israel. Almost swept Marvin off his feet. 1-2 by Israel lands. Oh, that leg kick by Israel's landing. It's money all day. Marvin goes looking for the shots. Oh, this in close. Israel goes looking for a high kick. Doesn't land it. Marvin ducks under it. Marvin snaps Israel's head back with a jab himself. Israel with his hands down. Israel again lands a low kick. But gets hit with a jab again by Marvin. Israel was looking for that uppercut. Didn't land it. That leg kick lands again on Marvin. Nice little jab landed by Marvin. Israel goes looking for the high kick. Marvin gets out of the way. Israel hits him with a little uppercut. Marvin's still coming forward. Oh, another low kick landed by Israel. Israel goes looking for the high kick. Marvin ducks under it. Israel's got so many good looks with his kicks and punches. Oh, swept Marvin down to the ground. Throws a combination. Marvin gets up. There's 45 seconds to go in this fight. Marvin moving forward. Hits Israel again with a little hook over the top. Israel went looking for the foot sweep. Israel goes looking for the low kick. Marvin gets out of the way. 17 seconds to go. Israel dancing around the periphery. There's 10 seconds to go. Marvin slowly coming forward. And low kick by Israel. Landed a low blow, did Israel. Flush on the cup. That was a low blow, that one. So there's been a couple, like the eye poke and the low blow. Um, Vettori's taking his time. There's 3 seconds to go in this one, in this round. Ooh. And that's a round. Fourth and fifth. Oh. Stephen Morgan says, it's been decent so far. I'm enjoying the wrestling. Thoughts on who won that round, guys? 29-28. I tend to think Israel's still edging the rounds, but Marvin's pushing his pace and he's doing things that it's taking this fight like further and further um, away from just Israel being comfortable. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people fake nut shots, people take nut shots, whatever, to get a breather. You know. So it's interesting, Vettori now, but Israel's definitely winning the fight, in my opinion. Israel could be slowing down Rick James. I don't know. But I don't know. There's nothing for me to be able to give a definitive answer on it. Again, Marvin doubling up on the jab, going to the body with the left hand. Oh, Israel with a low kick again. Marvin reaches. Oh, Israel with a combination, then hits with a low kick. Marvin coming forward now. Israel doing such a good job of sliding out of the way of Marvin. Throws a right high kick. Then he goes looking for that left kick to the body. Goes looking for that uppercut. Gets hit with a jab himself. Shows a little level change. Marvin doing a good job of backing him up. Now, I'll tell you one thing that does take it out of you as well is when you throw shit and you don't connect and you put a bit on it, you lose a bit. Like it's actually very tiring. If you don't believe me, go outside, swing 10 punches out and hit nothing and you'll get tired. Israel sinking his weight down. This is very hard for Marvin to take him down from this position. Big thing is how long Israel is. Makes it hard for Marvin to get the purchase on it. He has a trip. Oh, and he does. Okay, he gets Israel down. Israel didn't post. Israel did not post. Oh, Israel switches and moves him over. Is Marvin going to be able to get the leg lock? No, he doesn't. See, a big thing that happened there as well was he didn't post, though. He did not post. He's not posting anymore on his arm. Like his arm's not posting straight. You know, obviously both these guys are starting to get tired. Marvin hit him with a little right hook there. But it's really hard, man. The guy's really, really long and very, very athletic and very, very strong. Front kick by Israel. Left kick lands again by Israel to the body. Little jab lands by Marvin. Again, a little jab just on the edge, just on the end. It just nicks Israel. Ooh, nice little kick landed by Marvin on Israel. Israel throws a combination but gets hit with a counter right by Marvin. Israel gets kicked in the legs himself by Marvin. Israel is looking for a combination inside leg kick by Israel. Front kick landed by Israel. Good little check there by Israel. Combination landed by Israel, followed ending with a big left low kick. Marvin coming forward. Lands a little jab on Israel. Tiny one. Lands a little left hand on Israel. Nice low kick landed by Israel. Good combination there by both guys. Israel slides out of the way. Marvin's still coming forward. Israel goes looking for a high kick. There's 55 seconds to go in this fourth round. Nice shot by Marvin on the single leg. He's in fairly deep on the single leg. There's 45 seconds to go. I don't think Marvin can reach around to get that double leg. Israel doing a good job of defending like this because he's got one of Marvin's hands, and it's very hard. So Marvin can't link his hands, and then Israel can just spread his weight, and he's very tall, so it makes it very, very difficult. Okay, Israel felt that it was appropriate to grab Marvin by the bum. It could be 3-1. And I agree, Rick James. Other than his leg, he's more like it's yeah. It's not it hasn't been all Israel though. I agree. I'll give him at least a round to Marvin. And there have been moments where he has been competitive in there, but it's definitely Israel winning the fight for sure. Okay. I see Israel has landed some really good kicks on that leg of Marvin's. This is the last round. High kick by Israel. Taken on the arms by Marvin. Low kick landed by Israel. Good job. Marvin again switched down, hits a double leg here. Pushes Israel up against the cage. Can he link his hands and take Israel down? But Israel's very long and lifting him up on that whizzer. If Israel bumped up and got Marvin's arms up past the hips. So now Marvin's got the body lock, but it's very hard to finish someone like Israel from there. Holding Israel up against the cage. Israel slapping the ears of Marvin, and he pulled on his earlobe. Three minutes, 51 seconds to go. Israel went looking for the uppercut. No success there. Oh, big right high kick by Israel, taken partially on the arms by Marvin. Oh my God, that would have hurt. Doubled up on the jab, did Marvin. 3 minutes to go. Doubles up on that jab. Marvin, when he doubles up on the jab, he's look good. He's moving Israel back. But the problem is, it's not something that Israel hasn't seen before. Again, goes looking for that right high kick, and Marvin gets out of the way of that right high kick. I'm impressed by the fact that Marvin is able to get out of the way of the right high kick the way that he has. Little jab landed on Israel. Left low kick landed by Israel. Right high kick. Israel goes looking for that knockout. The way Israel gets his kicks up, though, late in the fight is very, very impressive. Marvin lands a little jab as Israel comes in with a combination. Doubles up on the jab, does Marvin nothing. He landed a little left hand there on Israel. It's 2 minutes to go in this fight. Israel goes for a Superman punch off the cage, but Marvin lands a little jab to Israel. 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. Marvin again shoots on the double leg on Israel, links his hands. He goes looking for this double leg. Is he going to get it? Israel's framing, putting his arm down. Marvin gets a body lock. He's behind, tries to ride Israel over. He does. He does, but Israel's defending him from getting the hooks in and gets back to his feet. Brilliant job by Israel. Good job by Marvin. One minute and 10 seconds to go. $50 seconds to go, and there's the break. Double underhooks by Marvin. 45 seconds to go in this fight. Marvin needs a knockout or a stoppage. Ooh, 1-2 by Israel. Israel goes looking for the right high kick, misses. Front kick down the middle by Israel, then left kick on the outside by Israel. 9 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Definitely Israel won that fight. Um, I think a lot of people honestly like just shit on fighters at the end of it, like he's shitting on Marvin. I think man, Marvin went out there. I think he did as best a job as he could do, and he lost the fight against a better guy, dude. Especially and particularly on the night. And like I said, for him to win, I think too many things would have to have happened. Too many ducks would have had to been in a row for him, you know, and they didn't. It didn't line up the way for Israel. I believe Israel had to go out there and beat Israel. Um, for Marvin, I think Israel will have to have a bad night. He'd have to have a good night and then have a little bit of luck. And that's a fight game, dude. I don't think that it was overrated. I don't think that it was. I don't think that Marvin had a bad game plan. I think he did his very best. Um, and yeah, man, I think it was good. I think in the rematch versus Rob versus Whitaker, I think um, again it's a situation where can Israel and he anything could happen. Like Israel could eat one of Rob's shots and he'll go down. Israel could get taken down um and Rob is very good on the ground himself. You know, they could catch either one of them could catch each other. They both hit hard. They both very good movement. Um yeah, it is what it is. Even if Marvin beat Israel, I don't see how he would have beat Rob. I really don't. I just a matchup, you know. But yeah, wonder what they're saying to each other. So come over to my house. We're going to have dinner together. It'll be great. Um, yeah. So anything can happen in a fight. I do think that Rob has the tools to beat him. I really do. It's anyone can get caught. Rob got caught last time. Um, of course, everyone's going to shit on people when they lose, and that's just human nature. But um, again, I think for Rob, you don't doesn't have to have the ducks in a line in the same way that Marvin did. I think Rob's as a striker, he's more explosive. His grappling is very, very good. His wrestling's good. His jiu-jitsu is very good. Um, Israel's shown that he's pretty clever as well on the ground. Um, yeah, man, we'll see what happens, man. So thank you so much for everyone. We will be doing a recap. It'll probably be on Tuesday. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of the fights. It was pretty impressive by Israel. I imagine that Rob is next. So I don't know. I think that Rob has all the tools to beat Israel. It's a fight, anything can happen. Both guys hit very, very hard. I do think that Rob has the ability to get Israel down, although I don't think that Rob has to go out there and the only thing he can do is try and take Israel down. I think that Rob's stand up is one of the few people that he can actually go out there and put it and match it with Israel. Having said that again, like who knows what happens in a fight? Anything can happen. Um, so thank you very much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys watching and hanging out and everything. So yeah, man, that was awesome, man. So I really, really appreciate everything, guys. And you guys make the show. Without you guys, there is no show. So thank you so much, guys. Please like and subscribe and pass this on to anyone um, that you know. So please, thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.